Welcome back everybody to another episode of Dungeons and Dice Masters. So, we don't really have any announcements other than no announcements, so that's pretty good. So diving straight into the session today, we're going to start off from where we left. The party, having made their way from a terrible accident with an avalanche, fighting off some stag bird-like creatures, unfortunately weren't able to save one of their newest companions, Tarek, the Dragonborn. However, with that in mind, and saving the people that they could, hearts still frozen a little bit, they managed to make their way back down towards Joran village. Picking up the pieces within themselves, as well as within the town of Joran, you managed to find what seemed to be this small blue kobold character. He decided to tag along with your group and has since joined your ranks. And in the last 2 or so weeks of travel from Joran to Western, you guys have been more and more acquainted. And over that time, as you can imagine, that snow that covered Joran village would have melted, and who knows what that might have brought. Over the course of the travel, you guys ran into Tassar, who decided to stick along for your travels for a while, have a bit of conversation with you, maybe seem like she was up to no good, but that's up to your interpretation. After that, you were all travelling to Western, managed to make it there, chatting with the guard, the gatekeeper. You located some decent places to stay, you reckon, and a bathhouse. Now, for some, the bathhouse is a relaxing, wonderful place to be, especially after a long, arduous journey through the Umbra Hills. However, there are certain party members and certain creatures that don't take kindly to baths, a bit like dogs versus cats. One such person would have to be our goblin friend, Fish. So with that in mind, especially in Koravaz, having purchased the most luxurious premium service for the bathhouse within Western, you guys purchased the the large party room bathhouse, as well as basically it's like a bath trap for those creatures that do not want to take baths, and having one extra room purchased on behalf of Trixie, not too far off the larger room, you guys started to make your way down to the baths. And that is where we pick up.
So we're in the bath house room where the water is now.
If you want to be, yeah. Yep. You open the door and there's just this large, basically 30 by 30 foot, kind of semi-cemented but also marble tiled bath, essentially. It's kind of like if you imagine the old style bathhouse, it's kind of like a square design, and then it's just, you can see the steam rising off the hot water. And then you notice, Korva, as you open the door to the other room, the one that was specifically designed for goblinoids, for example, it opens to this sort of pretty colourful room in a sort of macabre way. The walls seem to be lined with this like art of war, basically. The whole room is sort of decorated with what those that have a taste for the macabre enjoy. And right in the center is this square platform that seems to have some sort of what looks like really soft blanket laid out. Seems like a perfect place to rest.
And I believe that with the premium services, there were 4 bath maids along with wines and drinks and everything. Are they also in there as well?
They're on their way.
Okay. Is there like a little changing area, or are we like, or is this part of the bath? There is a changing like right next to the bath.
Well, in the larger room, that doesn't, not the trap room, the larger room has next to the square, which is the actual bath itself, onto the right, about 15 feet or so. There's what looks to be like a curtain that you can draw and stand behind. It's fairly basic. There's a couple hooks on the wall to hang your clothes, and then just the curtain drawer. That's about it.
So, for Bashra, he's going to take off his pack and hang it on a hook and immediately dive into the water and stay under.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Water goes like all over the sides as you jump in. It's not very deep, so if you're diving into there,
He is. He expected it to be a lot deeper.
you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit your head on the bottom of the bath. But
That's fine.
it's really nice warm water.
Yeah, I'll just
Adam.
stay under for 15 minutes.
Nice.
Okay.
Adamus is going to walk over to the backpack where Fish is.
Uh,
Pop my
Korvar.
head out and realize that I'm not on Bashra anymore. I'm confused.
as I look over and I see Adamus go over there, I walk up and slip one of the bath bombs in Adamus's hand, and I just whisper, "She trusts you more than me. If you can get fish into the water, just drop it in there. Instant cleanliness."
Noted. Fine. Fish, do you want to come for a swim? It's a lot of fun.
I like fun.
It's fun. Come, I'll show you.
I will climb on top of your head.
Cool. I'm going to take a running start. I'm going to jump. And then as we're coming down, I'm going to wild shape into a jellyfish.
Ring of water walking.
You motherfucker!
I don't think that will stop you from going under, though. It might shoot you up, but it won't like stop you from going under.
I can land on the water.
So, diving headfirst, Adamus,
And I just
into the water. As you're heading towards the water, you jump, turn into a jellyfish. The two of you kind of separate slightly as you start heading downwards. Fish, you sort of get the idea of what's going on in terms of what's in front of you. And as you see Adamus turn into a jellyfish and go into the water, you just sort of kind of like the old cartoon style, just sort of smack on top of the water, like you get wet, but you don't sink. It's kind of like that buoyancy,
Instinct.
like a momentary, you go under like slightly and then you bounce back to the top. But you're now completely soaked. And also, Adamus, the bath bomb that you were carrying with which now you're holding with one tentacle, just sort of dissolves instantly and begins to.
I would have
almost-
absorbed it into my form.
It's still a bath bomb in a bath.
So when you
Well-
wild shape all of your equipment, if you choose to do that, it shapes into your new form. It wouldn't have set off.
Fair enough.
Up to you.
No, alright. Fine. So it hasn't set off yet.
I'm just gonna go ahead.
I was going to say, I was going to do two things. One, I see that that failed, and I kind of wiggle my hands as I'm kind of taking off my stuff and everything, hanging up, wiggle my hands, and prestidigitation on fish.
Okay. You start to get the first layer of muck and grime off of fish. It's going to take a few casts to fully cleanse fish.
First, with the intel check, I beat the DC 10, so the first layer of muck and grime, whoop.
So, essentially, the first layer is essentially basically like all the gravel and the muck that's kind of clustered and stuff. So with the magical overlay of prestidigitation, that first layer comes off, leaving like a layer of just sort of slime, like a mucky slime.
I don't think Fish is gonna notice because this is his first interaction with water. So he's like squatting on top of the water, like
Well,
smacking it and like poking it, trying to figure out how this works.
Well, at the moment, the water is currently getting pretty filthy, considering you did go under slightly at first. So there's that sort of initial deposit of just filth. And then with Bashra as well, who isn't exactly clean, it's not looking great.
I'm kind of clean.
Uh-huh.
I'm not fish level dirty, but
I distinctly remember in the first or second episode that we had, you were like, "Oh yes, I eat these brains and I kill these people." I'm like, "All right,
I do.
they've got blood everywhere. You're covered in blood." And you're like, "Okay, cool. I go sit down." I was like, "All right."
that's right. I never did wash any of that off.
Nope.
And the
Yep.
mud.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, that water is
It's pretty
flavorful.
filthy.
Nasty.
I guess in seeing all this one, I'm just going to spam prestidigitation this next like 40 minutes.
It's just like this wizard with like an AK-47, but it's prestidigitation is on the entire.
I would rather not get kicked out of this very prestigious place. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna like walk around and squat and then pat at the water. Try to figure out how this water works.
I mean, when you pat the water, your hand can go in,
Yeah,
so it's kind of I guess a bit of a
yeah.
weird
So my
experience.
hands are the cleanest thing on me right now.
Yeah, and you're slowly getting more and more clean over time as Korrifar's just like breaking a sweat there in the corner, casting prestidigitation so many times.
Complaining,
Pretty much.
Actually, he's distracted.
If,
It's working.
if Kelsey sees all this, she might make her way over to Fish and like explain the point of the house in general and also why we're here. Just like, we're here to get clean. We've all been covered in a lot of muck for a long time, and it might be good to feel a little nicer.
I'm gonna show Kel my hands and be like, "Look, it's clean."
Can we try other parts of Fish's body for cleanliness? We could start with arms. Really
And I
slow.
just kind of like stick my arms in the water without going in. Look, it's clean.
Yes, exactly how a bath works.
Tagbo came into here quite excited, and then he's seen everything that's gone on, and he's kind of just standing there holding onto his backpack, looking like concerned and very confused, and kind of takes a step back, just like, okay.
At that moment, you hear the door, which is not really a door. It's kind of more like a. It's a door in a way, but you hear it open, and there are 4 handmaidens there that walk in, all with towels wrapped around their arms, all dressed in just robes, essentially. Most of them look human. There looks like there's one elf, like elven figure, and they'll smile at you candidly, just sort of waiting.
I immediately call over to Elf to myself as I disrobe, and I am now sinking into the water with my towel on my head. And then I just kind of direct them. Okay, you go to that person over there, like to Kale. Trixie's not there. One can take Tacbo, and just start distributing drinks and everything. But I'm like, what's up? I did. My back's kind of tight and everything. So.
Okay. So they start dispersing around the room, and they hang the towels up ready for your exit, and they start pouring all the drinks with what looks to be glass, sort of just plain glasses. Looks like some pretty good wine as well. And there is obviously the option for plain water or simply something like juice, like grape juice, for those that do not wish for wine.
Seeing that there's drinks available, Tagbo's going to go and actually get ready for bath now. Because, free drinks.
All
So
right.
he's going to go get undressed and get into the tub and drink as much wine as I'll allow him to drink.
Okay. I mean, you start drinking. We'll see how much you manage to take.
I am 2'9".
2'9", and your Constitution modifier is what? +1. Okay.
Yep.
This is going to be great. So, Basha, by the way, you're hearing all the conversation and everything just kind of like... And you just sort of, like, you could see clearly through the water until, like, the rest of the filth on you dispersed and everyone else started getting in as well. And, it's just like swimming in the swamp now.
So, do I feel any movements or anything that I can kind of home in on?
I mean, sure, people are getting in.
Okay. I'll move closer, and then I'll just barely poke my head up out of the water with just my eyes, just drifting like a crocodile.
So creepy. It's at a certain point through this that one of the handmaidens goes, "Oh, here, let me fix that for you. Won't be a moment." And she goes over to the wall, sort of near the door. There's 2 levers. She pulls one of those, and you feel this, and all the water level starts to drain.
I run to the side of the bath.
At the same moment, she pulls another lever, and you see this, as what you'd noticed before were little spouts on the side of the wall, sort of in the corner, and they all start gushing with water. So while the rest of the muck starts to filter out and get rinsed away, at one point the drain closes again and the bath refills with this fresh hot water. The jellyfish there just like...
I just give a wistful sigh. This is the life.
Yep.
Fuck. I just look over at Kel and I'm like, did you see that?
Yep. Pop out of the water all
Baths are
Godzilla style.
amazing.
Best bath ever.
I kind of call over.
Ever.
This is
I kind of call
much
over. That's a
nicer
lot
than
of
the last time I was in Westrup.
I just call over to Bashra. That's a lot of emotion, Bashra. Calm down.
It'll fix you with a stare for a moment.
I give him a wink and I actually kiss.
wine. It's wine.
Yes.
Tuckbro,
Yes.
make a Constitution save, please.
Okay.
Also, Adamus, are you still a jellyfish?
Huh?
Okay. You're thoroughly enjoying this for an immortal being. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong if you guys know more, but I'm pretty sure the only two like immortal things in like IRL is like a cockroach and a jellyfish. Alright, 19.
Gone. Yeah.
So, alright. So far, you're managing to hold your liquor.
Well, then I drink more.
Naturally.
I'm like, this wine's not that good. I'm gonna keep doing it, thinking it's very weak.
It's actually very good wine.
Oh God. I seeing this, I do kind of ask the elf behind me that's massaging, and so the gold that I paid, that's free refills on all drinks, or is there a limit? As I look at Tacmo, just asking.
Well, with no disrespect to your friend there, I doubt he'd be able to consume the amount that surpasses what would be considered complimentary wine.
Okay, yeah, just asking. Thank you. And by the way, that's like a really good spot you have going on right there.
Right there? Wow. The silence is deafening.
I'm just enjoying this. I mean, this is the one time that Corvar is not going to talk, so enjoy this moment.
Yeah, well, for that exact amount of time, the entire bathroom, like, was just silent. Was not a sound made. So, how long were you in the bath for?
I think. Well, we paid for what? Like I think we said like 45 minutes to an hour or something like that.
Yeah, about an hour. Yeah.
I would at least for Corvar, if no one else is doing anything for at least like 15, 20 minutes into it, Corvar would just kind of like almost glazy-eyed look up. So, not at the party, just kind of rest in the party. What is the plan now? As much as I would hate to leave this fine establishment and the good company, what do we decided on?
For someone here in town. We were following a lead on a cultist that came this way, I thought.
Yes, but no. What I meant is that I know we have a few good leads. They mentioned, I didn't remember his name, but the town mayor or the town hall, I think, is a destination, and then of course, the Margrave. Excuse me. And there was mention of the undead place. Again, I don't have my notes in front of me.
So there's ghouls attacking the city. We should kill them. But first we drink.
Wasn't there a deep warning about going that way, though? Because that's the Valley of the Dead or something.
Well, the town's guard, who when we came in said it was a pretty dangerous place, but directed us to the Margrave's house. I guess they're paying for a few good adventurers to go investigate.
Yes, but given everything, and I'm gonna like look around and remember that Trixie's in a private room that we just went through, we should tread cautiously, no matter what.
No, let's blaze a trail. We survived an avalanche.
I got hit by it and I'm alive.
That you did.
I've lost all direction in life.
Well, you guys argue the finer points. Sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
was going to say Boshra just kind of swims in lazy circles in the pool, just enjoying himself.
Adamus will follow your trail.
Jellyfish.
This is gonna be
Yeah.
great. I'm going to walk over to Bosher's bag. I'm gonna slip my ring of water walking in there. And I'm gonna dive bomb right next to Bashra so I can grab on and not drown.
Alright. Roll me a d20 for dive bombing effect.
8.
It's a pretty mediocre bomb.
Yeah.
Cannonball. But, you know what? You managed to land on top of Bashra. Sort of sploosh. Bashra, you've got this goblin child on the back of you.
I mean, to be fair, this is far from the first time something like that's happened. So I'll just keep lazily swimming, like she's that bird on top of the crocodile that you always see in those Florida videos. Yeah, same
That's
thing.
what I was going for.
Swimming around, just taking my time with this
Meanwhile,
freaking jellyfish following me.
just this little jellyfish. You're doing circles around it, but you know, it's still sort of just.
Mechanical jellyfish.
Yeah.
Doesn't look edible.
Something I forgot to ask too earlier. What is the well, especially the one that's like right close to me and the mage in general? What are the reactions to a drow in Western?
So far, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but so far the reactions haven't been at all what you expected. Particularly in Western, there seems to be a couple dark elves around that you've noticed. Not many, but like around as you traveled through the city, you noticed a couple of them just here and there, just minding their own business. Unfortunately, you did notice that a couple of them were looking fairly shady. You know, the whole cloak and everything.
Would I
Okay.
be able to find where Trixie has wandered off to?
Sure. So you get on your robe and you wander out into the corridor. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Trixie's room is what, just attached to ours, or how does this work again? I'm sorry.
So basically the way it works is you guys are at the very end of the corridor, and I believe Trixie's was just opposite, from memory. Can't remember exactly, but for now.
Far away and as quiet as possible.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, you were opposite, but his was further towards the beginning. So you'd have to sort of walk down the corridor, and then it's the door on the left that you remember them saying.
Did they allow S'more to come in with me?
No, S'more has to stay
Wow, rude.
within like the lobby area.
Alright, I'm going to kind of walk down towards Trixie's door and knock on it. Just a bit of a... Trixie! Trixie!
Trixie will get up out of his bath and will grab his bathrobe. He's put his hair up in a bun at this point, and he just opens the door and looks around and then looks down. Yeah.
What are you doing down here all by yourself? All by yourself?
Having some privacy.
Can I join you?
You might be comfortable being naked around other people. I am not. But I'm nearly done anyway, so it doesn't bother me too much.
Trust me, no matter what happens in this room, it cannot be worse than what I just witnessed going on in that other one.
I don't think I want to know. Come on, come in.
And Plink will wander into the room.
This
You
room.
know.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sir. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say this room is for the purposes of what it is, the small private room. It's a very much a relaxing place. So it's decorated with all kinds of like very pale yellow symbols of like the sun and different kind of depictions up above, and then on the walls just at sort of eye level around the walls is kind of like this flower trail, very faint flower trail. It's not like thick bushes of flowers, but it's kind of just like a vine sort of whirls its way around the room. It's nice.
I would sit down wherever I feel like there's space that I'm not pushing too much onto Trixie, if that's possible.
Yeah, it's a 1
And
to
I'd
2
look,
person.
I'd look over at him and I'd be like, "You've been real quiet since the avalanche. Are you alright?"
It was, at the end of the day, my magic that caused it, and there's just some things that I have to face up to.
Well, you know, I learned that in my time rummaging through towers I probably shouldn't have been in. Things happen without or with your say, no matter whether you're involved or not. We were traveling through some terrible lands. If you hadn't have killed us, or one of us, something would have. We got in over our heads. I think you'll find nobody in your party, none of us, holds you to blame.
My issue is if I didn't cause it, if it wasn't my fault directly, then it frightens me at whose fault it could very well be.
I'd blame the Umbrails. Shit place, that one.
I have to admit, I'm not in any mood to go back there anytime soon.
You and me both. It was not fun. Um, I think I think you'll find everyone around us that we've traveled with, they've got your back though. They tell them what you've been thinking.
My issue with that is my back's a dangerous place to be. I'm not exactly a person people will want around for very long.
Well, if we didn't want you around, we wouldn't keep. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I was done.
Oh, okay. If we didn't want you around, we wouldn't be here with you. We've got a million different directions we could have walked.
You are quite happy to have around the persona that I put on. The true me is a bit of a different story.
Well, it's a story I'd love to hear.
I don't know if I'm exactly ready to talk about it yet.
That's
But
very understandable. Go ahead.
there are things that I've done in my past, things that I've been trying to avoid for a while now, and sooner or later they will catch up. It is something that I know I have to talk about if we're all going to be around each other for a while. It's just something that I would rather have later rather than sooner.
Well, given that we're all your allies, I feel like we'd all have your back when it does catch up to you. And I don't know about you, but we've got but I think we've got some terrifying people wandering with us. And any problems you might have, we'll have to get through them first. You just have to let them know.
That is true. He sort of leans up against the wall and adjusts his robe. He's like just trying to make as much space as possible and has decided he's not going back into his bath.
Can you believe they don't let chickens in here?
This is why you needed to have something smaller, like an imp, that can hide.
All the places I've been that don't allow chickens.
Again, maybe next time go for something smaller.
Trixie, can I? You. How do you feel about your magic right now? I've noticed you've kind of been reclusive.
I don't trust it. Magic always comes with a price, and I don't know if I'm ready to pay that price anymore.
Well, I don't know terribly much. I'm still figuring it out. I kind of just make it as I go. But if you give me the night, I think I can help you with that.
What do you mean by that?
I I make stuff, and I think I can make a weapon that might keep you from having to use your magic if you don't wish to. For now, only. I can't promise it'll be perfect.
That could be really helpful. I just need some time to figure out why it messed up the way it did, and if I can trust it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll make you a weapon, so you don't have to use your magic for now. If you will share your story with me and the rest of the party, so that we can all prepare to help you when it comes.
Do I have to tell it now?
Before it catches up would be nice.
Yeah, I understand that. I will talk about it. I just don't think now is the right time.
Understandable. That's all I can ask of you. I think you'll find the party is a lot more understanding to weird circumstances than you may think. Hell, one of them is a wizard, after all. He is odd.
To be fair, they're all in their own little way. Odd.
And that's why we should trust them. If we have something that we need to, if it's something that is coming after us, while we're together, we all should know about it. We should all be ready for it, and nobody here would allow you to be taken without one of us trying to stop you. All of us trying to stop it.
I appreciate that, but I'd rather you guys not put your lives on the line for what I've done.
Well, I can't speak for everybody, but I've already made up my mind. You and me are friends now, and when it comes for you, it's got to get through me, and it's got to get through S'more. That's the end of the line.
That's if you can control that chicken long enough to turn around and tell it to do that. Seems to be very independent and of its own mind.
Listen, he may be a little bit of a troublemaker, but in battle, I'd never had a more trustworthy ally.
I'll hold your word to it.
Alright, that's all I can ask for you. I'll have that weapon made.
Okay. Are you gonna be staying in here, or are you gonna go back?
I can go. You want me to go? I just thought I'd come check on you.
It's up to you. If you want to have some time away from whatever weird madness those guys are coming up with, then feel free. I'll just sit here and soak my feet.
As you say that, Plink is going to put his feet up and he's just going to kind of lay his head back and close his eyes and start to relax.
And Trixie will sit on the edge of the bath and will put his feet in, adjust his robe again, trying to keep as fully covered as possible.
Okay. Is the imp around?
It is.
Okay. So unless you want otherwise, I'd say that it would probably want to steer clear of the water and is just kind of resting on your head at this stage.
Yeah. So hiding in the bun.
Yeah. It seems to be like fidgeting with it as well, just like kind of pulling strands of hair. Just... Yeah. Anyway. Do you want to do anything else?
No, I think that's it for now.
Okay. The rest of you.
I did have one thing real fast. Or,
Yeah.
I would, after a little bit where I was kind of relaxing, I would send the elf behind me and the other ones to go to see to anyone else if they need anything else. But I would take a minute to inspect the, I guess, branding or the tattoo that had appeared.
Okay. Yeah. So that tattoo, as you sit there in the water, you look at it and it looks, what it felt like when you first got it was this sort of kind of exactly like that sensation of a fresh tattoo, where it's kind of like a burning sensation and pain, ache. Now it seems more of just like a tenderness at the moment. And as you look at it, it's got this fairly purple and black inlay, and the center of it, seems to be this faint gold filigree.
And it was I guess, to re-describe it again, I'm going to make a note of it again.
So it's two wings spread. They kind of look like dragon wings, and the center is this gem. It's kind of like a rough cut gem. The gem itself seems to be purple, and then that gem itself seems to be, before the wings begin, or just over the top of the wings, a thin layer of that gold filigree that surrounds it as a decorative pattern.
Okay, and then the other thing was I'd move to at least talk within talking distance of Kel. I heard earlier that you've been through Western before in your sailing days. Besides what we have honestly going on here, any other things of interest within this town? Sightseeing, perhaps? Or Kel can ignore me. I guess I won't talk about her pirating days.
Sorry, my computer had cut out. I didn't realize they were talking to me.
Yeah. As I'm just staring at Kel, like she's just staring back at me for a minute.
My computer cut out while you were asking a question.
No, I asked. So you mentioned earlier, or you said earlier that you've been to Western before. Anything of interest besides, I mean, outside of what we currently have going on? Anything, any shops or items of intrigue or anything? Or your pirate smuggling holds or anything?
I can't hear you. Love
But
technology.
I also wasn't exactly within society either.
What do you mean?
Is that working?
It's better now.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I was more escorting people through dangerous woods than I was participating as a functioning member of society. But do I know any places that would be interesting to Koravar?
heard of the the odd really good bakery. The only thing you can really think of, as far as you're aware, would have to be probably the tinkerer's shop.
Yeah, I'll pass on. There was a tinkerer's shop that was always useful.
Oh,
Might be interesting to
magical.
check out.
Do you know if it was magical or mundane in any way?
You don't really
Was
know.
it cool, or was it just regular tinker stuff?
You're not really sure.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'd have to check it out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if it's after we're done with this business with the Margrave here soon, if you don't mind pointing it out, and maybe we'll see what we can see. Thank you. And I don't mean to give you so much problems with the pirating things. It sounds like you weren't quite the same type of pirate that I've had run-ins with before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back over here now. You seem kind of
Yeah.
off put by me being close to you.
Sorry, I heard like half the things you said, so can't
No, just
quite tell it out the next time the tinkerer's shop.
thank you.
So, you guys have about 15 minutes left. If you wish to do anything,
Drink wine.
make me another Constitution saving throw. What'd you get?
An 11.
Alright. Tuckbow. Downing the last glass of wine that you had, you start to feel dizzy. All the heat seems to make you really lightheaded all of a sudden. And you find yourself falling over all the time on the tiles. And suddenly the entire room looks as if it's spinning continuously.
Well, this isn't a good no. And I fall over again.
You guys notice the heavy disorientation in Tuckbow.
At least it wasn't me this time.
It's quite good wine. Fuck.
I'm gonna
Oh,
go over
Okay, you got him, Fish. You're more his size.
and I'm just gonna take away his wine
Yeah.
and then walk away.
Take the glass
Hey!
away from him.
And then
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna glare
say-
at Koravar.
I'm gonna say in Goblin, hey, that's mine!
I'll hiss at him.
Oh boy. I seeing this probably going badly. I get up, walk naked over to my clothes, and just start toweling off and getting dressed.
Easy enough.
Gonna sit and wait for Batra.
Okay. At which point, by the way, you notice, Koravar, that your clothes are spotless.
I love this place so much.
Is it
I
just his clothes?
that's what I was about to say. As I look at mine, I look at everyone else's, and I kind of gauge the cleanliness of what was left on the wall.
They're all immaculate.
I love this place so much.
I'm genuinely impressed because I was wearing a dress made of really nasty rags.
Yeah.
Oh, I did
New clothes, guys.
Are you still wearing them too? Because I don't. Did you actually? Because I mean, you just ran and jumped in. Did you actually remove these soiled rags?
To be honest, from when I aired them out, I never actually put them back on.
Yeah. I
So
figured
I've
this
been
whole
riding
time you've been
around
naked,
in
yeah.
Bashra's backpack with the pelts this whole time, just
Yeah.
me.
Which, by the way, kind of smell by this point. As you get closer, Korvar, to where everyone's hanging their stuff, like, it smells pretty bad.
Oh, jeez. Oh, prestidigitation.
It doesn't help.
Are
Damn
any
it.
of the ladies still around?
Oh yeah, they're there.
I'm gonna like plop, 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 plop right up to them and be like, I really appreciate it. It takes a lot of skill to do this.
Of course.
Is there anything you could do about that? And I point over to Bashra's bag.
Which, by the way, is like the bottom of it. You can see just like this very faint bit of sort of diluted blood, just sort of dripping like muck brown blood.
Oh, I think
I do like
I think I think Corvo would have been like almost dry heaving, like, ugh.
I
Yeah.
do like the guilt.
Well,
I give the lady like the guilty dog face and just be like, I didn't mean to.
it's all right. We'll do our best.
I hold up another gold piece.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry for the trouble.
It's quite all right. She goes over to the backpack and you can see that as she gets closer, she sort of.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm sorry.
Leaving like this faint drip drop of old blood, old mucky blood along the way, and you can see under where the backpack was underneath. There's this just small pool of really bad, kind of like you know, like when you pull meat from one of the packages and it's kind of like this brown blood. It's kind of like that. It's just sitting on the floor.
Well, I was about to say is I was going to inquire about attack, but if he's face down still, I would go over and kind of pick him up and kind of almost like carrying a young child.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Give me a second, and I'm gonna let go of me. I'm fine.
Well, if he's still letting me, if he's just kind of like feisty, it's like again, like I'm thinking like a 3-year-old child who's like kind of fighting a grown up. I pick him up and put him on my shoulder.
Let go of me.
It's just go to sleep. Shh, it's okay. Shh.
I'm fine.
Shh, it's okay, Tecbo. It's okay. Go to sleep. Shh.
Is it okay?
Your head might not be here in a little bit, but it always gets better in the morning. Shh, just go to sleep. Just go to sleep.
You fucked it, right? I'm gonna sleep.
Yeah, because I was about to say, because if he doesn't go to sleep, I was actually going to cast the spell Sleep on him.
Yep.
You have a butt-naked blue kobold in your arms.
Swaddling clothes. I grab his stuff, grab like a part of my cloak, and just swaddling clothes. Just
Yep. Okay.
While this is all going down, I'm gonna look at Trixie and I'm gonna go, do you think we should go check on them?
I suppose it's about time, yeah. Let me go ahead and get dressed and we'll head over.
Alright. You can only imagine what sort of trouble they're causing.
Trixie will go off and go discreetly get himself changed and all suited and booted and then make his way back. Alright, let's go.
Then Plink will follow right behind as they head towards the other room where everyone is.
Okay. You guys start heading towards that room. At which point, the handmaidens that are sort of around the room, they sort of adopt a more professional posture, and they go, "Well, I'm afraid your time has come to a close here, with 5 minutes to go. If you wouldn't all mind, please, exiting and gathering your things."
On behalf of everyone, and thank you very much. This has been well needed. Thank you.
Of course. You're welcome anytime.
You have our things.
What was that? Sorry?
You guys took our bag to clean it, and we haven't gotten it back yet.
It'll be waiting for you at the front.
Okay.
What about my chicken?
Your chicken will be in the lobby.
Did you clean him too? He's probably the dirtiest one.
I'm afraid our specialties don't quite provide that service, but I'm sure you could find somewhere that would be willing to clean such a machination.
Oh, he's been called worse.
I do kind of get like not like obnoxiously close, but kind of closer to the elf as I just kind of lean in. Do before we leave, I just want to ask, do y'all provide like more of a one-on-one service at all?
A one-on-one service. You are...
Please tell me I'm
Yes.
close enough to hear this.
Depends, is Korrivar trying to be discreet?
I'll speak in Elvish to her.
Okay.
Bastard.
We do. But judging by your appearances, sir, I don't believe the services that you are seeking.
By the way, while you're asking this, are you still holding a kobold in your arms?
I would figure that I would like strap you to my back like a little baby. I feel like again, I kind of just I feel like that was kind of pigeonholing us based on our appearances, but I understand. Again, thank you very much for your services. Well needed.
Apologies if my conclusion was inaccurate, but you have to understand the type and sorts we get here under false pretenses.
Oh, I completely understand. I merely meant a good massage, full body for deep tissue and all that. But it's okay. I understand. We do put off a weird light.
Well, should you return, we do offer such services.
I just bow and walk out with my my kobold backpack.
Your leather backpack.
He's doing this snoring that sounds almost demonic. I'm like,
Oh, that's oh, if that's right in my ear, I'm gonna pass. 2 minutes, and I'll be passing him off to someone else.
Yep. Alright, so you all make your way back to the lobby, and the chicken is there indeed, same as it was before, and the backpack on the countertop by the original elven receptionist that you saw before, and it looks spotless.
Fish. Would you and Takbo fit inside the backpack all at once?
Do we
Is it just
both
me?
fit in the backpack?
Yeah.
No.
You can put him on my
I
chicken.
look at you questioningly. Like, dare you suggest that someone else sit in my backpack?
Just asking. So I see the glare coming off of Fish. Like, what? I'll just hold him. It's fine. I'll put up with the snoring.
Is the
Oh,
back-
well, you can put him on the chicken. Oh, sorry, Adamus.
Just wondering if the backpack was clean.
Yes, the backpack is clean, and as
Okay,
you
sweet.
get to the bar, reception, whatever you call it, the elf that first served you says, well, the contents of your backpack have been sent to a leather worker for proper maintenance, as that is not a specialty, but your backpack is clean now.
What was the fee for the leather working?
Oh, don't worry. The amount of money that you've paid us has covered that fee in good standing.
Fees for creating such an extra mess. I know I'm a handful, but I appreciate your services. And he gives him like a full sharp tooth grin.
She doesn't flinch, but she looks at you really curiously. You're a strange one. I give you that.
Fish.
Well, fish, thank you for taking our services. We hope to see you again in the future.
And I'm gonna climb back inside Bosher's backpack.
Alright, squeaky clean, ready to roll.
In answer to Plink, I don't mind holding him, but it's more of his stuff because I believe he had some pretty like heavy armor on. Correct?
You want to throw it on
Yeah,
there?
and he has like
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and he has a heavy backpack with a literal mini treasure chest attached to it.
Yeah. So with that, can we strap this to your Robo Chicken?
I'm sure we could. Carries me around.
Yeah, if we can, I just don't know how much room will be on with the stuff, but if we can put that
Oh,
stuff
I don't
on
need
there,
to be on there. You just put it on there, and I'll walk beside him.
okay. Yeah, so I'll take a little bit, or if anyone wants to help, because would like help on this, just kind of
I'll
strap
attempt to
all
help
the
you
tac.
strap
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
just put all Tacbo stuff on there, and I make sure that our sleeping baby kobold is secured to my back.
It's a chicken mule.
Gotta be useful for something. Other than trouble.
We should probably find somewhere to stay tonight and somewhere where we can go ahead and put the sleeping cobalt.
Which, with that being said, what time is it right now? Is it do we need to go look for a place to stay right now, or do we have time to go see the Margrave first?
I believe when you arrived it was midday, roughly, I think. So now it would be on the basically like mid-afternoon.
Yeah, Trix, that's a good idea. Do you want to do that first and lay our stuff down, or would anyone else like to go to the Margrave's house first? We still have plenty of time throughout the day.
I don't think it's a good idea to go to the Margaret's house when one of our parties is passed out drunk. But, we want to set a good impression. It might be an idea to wait until the morning when he's sobered up.
Okay. Yeah. Well, in that case, instead of wasting the day, are there anything that we need to go and purchase? I mean, myself, Kel mentioned a very nice shop that I would like to just take a gander at. Maybe meet up, or divide and conquer, as they say.
I have a few things that I'd like to purchase.
I just want to see the shop. I'll go with you.
Clothes.
Yes, we must get fish and clothes.
DM,
Yes,
are we still inside the bathhouse?
if you want to be.
Just walk up to the receptionist lady. Excuse me, ma'am. Is there a place where we can get some fine clothing?
She looks you curiously up and down.
It's not for me.
Very well. Of course, there's a number of tailors along the city streets if you go to the markets.
Perfect. Where's the nearest one?
I believe the nearest one isn't too far from here. A man by the name of John. Tell him the ladies at the bathhouse sent you. He should be able to give you a bit of a discount. I think it's called... what was it again?
Snow
Oh, yes.
suits?
Don't. He could probably make you some, but he doesn't currently have those pre-made. But I believe the shop name is called Aromatic Attire.
Amen. I would like to go there. I would like to go to there.
So let's go to the market, see what we have. I mean, this tinkering shop and a library or a bookstore would be very, very nice to visit.
Okay, so are you guys splitting up or are you guys going together? What's the go?
I'd like to go check out the shops with Gorovar, but I just kind of want to stop over at the tailor's first, if that's cool with y'all.
Bashra, is there anything that you would like to try and purchase? Food items, rats on sticks, or anything?
Not really.
Would you like to accompany us to the market, or would you like to go try to find an inn? I'll bring you back a rat on a stick. I hear it's a delicacy.
Go to the market.
Oh,
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, a tack bow. You want to go to the market?
Yeah,
He says okay. He's good.
he's kind of like when a dog's in their sleep, he's kind of moving his arms and legs, but he's clearly passed out. Maybe an odd word in infernal or goblin comes out.
Tack bow's cool. We're going to the market.
I think he just said cheese.
I thought he cut the cheese, but I don't know.
I don't know, I could be mistaken. I could have sworn that was goblin.
So hi ho, on to the tailors we go.
Okay, so you're all making your way over to Aromatic Attire. You're there. No, so, excuse me. So you're walking your way through Westruun. Now, along the way, you notice one of the dark elves that you've noticed before. They stand out to you, Gorivar, as just a matter of noticing fellow dark elf. Aside from that, though, the general populace here seems to be there's a few half-orcs here and there, a couple halflings, and a few humans. It seems to be the majority mix at the moment. Having a walk through the city, though, Adamus, as you begin to prepare for having a browse at the tailor's soon to be arriving, as you can see it in the distance, there's this sort of boarded image with like one of the spindles, and you can see it says Aromatic Attire along the side in sort of like a flick calligraphy writing. You feel for your coin purse, and it's missing.
Okay. How exactly would that be possible? Can I make like a check?
If you would like to roll a perception check.
Do I? $21.
21. Having a look around the immediate vicinity, there doesn't seem to be anyone that's sort of what you would point out as initially out to do no good, but having a look down some of the side alleys, as you sort of stop there momentarily, confused, you look around, you can see a couple smaller figures in hooded cloaks that seem to be sticking to the shadows. And they look maybe halfling sized. And one of them, they seem to be talking with each other. And then one of them sort of like looks around, glances, and seems to notice you and your party. And they seem to roll me an insight check actually. As they look away.
10.
Initially, your first reaction is that there's something not right about them. There's something pretty shifty. As soon as they have seen you, they look away, continue to talk for about 10 seconds, and then slowly walk away down the alleyway.
Are we all noticing this, or just her?
Just Adamus at the moment.
Okay. Or just him, sorry.
Cool. I just accept the fact that I have no gold and move on.
Okay. So you all make your way to the tailors then?
Mhm.
Okay. So heading over to Aromatic Attire, you are first greeted with this broad scale window that has a number of different sort of traveling and casual clothes set up in the shop window as to put on display the works of what you can only assume to be John, the tailor, who works there. And as you enter, you hear ding 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 of the door opening, and then this smell of wonderful scents, lavender and cinnamon, all filling your nostrils. It's not too strong, but it's present. As you wander in, you see a great number of materials that line the walls in those sort of thick rolls. And there's also a number of pre-made costumes and traveling clothes alike. And as you walk up to the bar, you can see this unusually and unexpectedly rather skinny half-orc male standing behind the bar. You walk up to them, they notice you. They sort of look up, and you can see that they've got this sort of small monocle to one eye. Yes, can I help you?
I'm going to limb out of Bosch's backpack on top of his head so I can stand up straight and just like pull on my dress and be like, I need new clothes.
Yes, it does seem that way. Not exactly the clothes I would choose. And the rest of you?
You said he had a top hat and a monocle?
That was why I was.
Oh no.
That was exactly why I was coming here.
A top hat and a monocle, huh? It's interesting.
Yeah.
Should have a
Where am I?
monocle.
Shh, Stackbo. Shh. Go ahead, sleep. Shh.
No.
Okay.
Well,
If he has a monocle in his eye, I'll tap it, see if it provides some type of physical benefit.
you the one on him?
Yeah.
You try to, and he pulls away behind the bar, preventing you from getting further. And he says, please don't do that. I have one for you to test out, should you wish.
Sure.
He walks behind the bar and begins to pull out a few things, one of which is this small little manacle. He hands over to you. Yeah, try that on. In the meantime, little goblin friend there, what are you looking for? Hello. Can
Right,
she hear
that's
me?
me.
Can you hear me?
I need a new dress.
A dress.
That is what I said.
Okay.
Yes. Do I
Alright.
need to speak orc? And I like look around to the party. Like, am I supposed to be speaking
Hey,
orc?
I'm not one to judge. Just caught me by surprise is all. Now, what kind of dress are you after? Low cut,
The
high
pretty
cut,
one.
skinny?
I gotta be able to run and headbutt things, but I still want to look cute.
Ah, the functional kind. I think I have just the thing.
Functional kind of dress.
I think we should take a vote to make Lunar go out and get dresses and showcase them for Fish.
No.
So, I'll be right back. And he heads off around the corner through like a material draped door. And a few moments go by, and he comes back with a number of dresses, most of which are for your size. There are only a couple, but the ones that he brings back they look to be originally designed for halflings, and there's ones that have this sort of it's this sort of black type of material with these sort of pink petaled roses kind of around. There's one with and that one has like the split, so it's kind of designed to be form fitted, but has the split down the from like the lower torso down to provide that extra freedom of movement. Then there's another dress that seems to be more of the what's the name for it? It's not form fitted. It's, you know what I'm talking about.
Ball gown.
Yes, kind of like that essentially, but it's not obviously like full party dress ball gown. It's just and that one seems to be more rustic kind of. It's got like a pale yellow a base material with this sort of all the trim seems to be like this white, and then just like a very subtle couple of like little what seems to be little bees that sort of dot just around, it's sort of like a, not haphazard, it seems intentionally designed that way, but yeah, it's a bee dress. There are a couple others, but
He's just gonna look at the orc with the straightest face. How much are each of these?
well, you see,
The lady from the bathhouse sent us, by the way. She said to say that.
oh, did she now? Very well. This one here, the one with the pink petals all over. This one, I'd say would run you 5 silver pieces. The one over here, is personally my favorite for your style, the B one. This one, it should run you about the same, maybe 5 silver pieces, I'd say, with that discount of yours. The other two, well, I'd say 3 silver pieces for that one and 4 silver pieces for that one.
I will take the first 2 and I will pass him 2 gold and say I will be back. And I will slip into my bee dress.
So, wait, so you took 2 and gave him 2 gold?
I did, for future services.
Oh, well, thank you. That's mighty kind of you. Change
I will
room's
be
just over
remembered
there.
as a nice goblin. I run.
Like you get the whole like drape that was covering the change room just got off and then settle back.
And I will take my time trying on my dress.
Alright. You do that for the next couple minutes. The rest of you.
With this, I think Takpo starts to like rouse awake, and he kind of looks up, looks around. He's like, "Wait, am I? I'm very tall."
And as soon as you look down, you see Corvar is like holding like silk shirts in different colors up to his chest, a few pants down to his legs, just
Wait.
magentas and golds and just this flamboyant colors. Just kind of, I think that would do quite nice.
Wait a minute! I'm naked.
No. I have you in swaddling clothes. You're wrapped in a towel. Or
Ah! Let me go, you elf!
So I'm gonna take that monocle and tap it a few times with my claws to see if it scratches or breaks or anything.
I mean, if you tap it hard enough, you get the feeling that it might.
Where's my stuff? I say, holding the towel very tight around my waist.
I just point over toward Plink with his chicken while your stuff is still strapped.
I look round, I realise we're in Taylor's, and I look to the orc and go, Can I use your changing room, please? Have you got a spare one?
Yes, you just go through that door. There's two there. One is occupied.
Thank you! And I'm going to take all my stuff and kind of nod to Plink in a kind of thank you way and run into the changing room very embarrassed. There's purple
Plink
coming
is
around
gonna
his
give
face
him a
where it's
thumbs
bright
up.
blue. If a kobold could blush.
The rest of you watch as the half orc sort of looks to each of you and kind of goes, kids, eh?
Hey, while this is happening, while everyone's getting themselves suited, can Adamus take his like canvases and all the rest of that crap, like start spray painting out like a sign that says portraits here, and he's just gonna try and like earn some gold on the street drawing people's portraits for them.
Okay. First of all, make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Second of all, as you begin to make your way out of the tailors, you, in the window, where all the clothes you can see now are on stands by the window itself. Yep.
I have a -1 to my charisma.
That's very good persuasion there. So, as you're heading towards the door, getting out your bits and bobs and your spray paint cans, don't know why that was so hard to say, you notice in the corner of the window a small hooded figure peering inwards towards all of you. And as he notices you, there, man, I can't speak. As he notices you, you notice him. He disappears.
Like magically disappears,
No,
or he
sort
like
of like, oh shit, and then sort of, yeah, runs, or ducks or whatever.
outside the glass, right, Alec?
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting. As I hold up a pair of very nice silk boxers.
They've got like the skulls on them as well.
Oh, hey. So I just realized that because of my scarf, my glamour reef, I get, I think it's advantage. Let me just double check. Performance and persuasion. Roll a d4 and add the number to the check. I don't know if that's gonna help.
Hey, well,
It might.
you don't know what the DC is, so.
I guess that's true. So roll 1d4. Let's see. 4!
Look at that. DC was 11.
Oh, fuck, I got 10.
No. Alright, so you begin to spray paint that, and while everyone's gathering, I'm going to give you this opportunity to think about what you'd like to purchase, Corvar, and possibly Takpo. And Fish, you try on the dresses as well. During this time, Adamus, you get a couple people come up to you and sort of look at you up and down, kind of curiously, and then go, how much?
Like 2 silver a
Oh.
piece.
Yes. Okay. Here. And you get, so there's the first customer is this couple that looks to be very much in like that honeymoon phase of dating, and it's this human with like a half elf, and they kind of say to you, this is a bit of an unusual pose, but if you could just make it sort of like an artistic flair with the romance, you know. And they they stand back about 5 feet, waiting for you to draw them, and they kind of like link hands, you know, kind of like that, and stand next to each other, just sort of staring into each other's eyes.
Ugh. Okay. Sure. I mean, that was my reaction. Adamus would just do it.
Yeah. So that's your first customer. The second, after you finish that, they say, thank you very much. This is amazing. They take it and give you your. They give you 4 silver pieces because they count both of them. 2 characters in the drawing.
Yes.
And
that makes sense.
Yes. As an artist, I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yeah.
So the next customer that you get come along is seems to be this little kid who's not terribly young. He's maybe 12, and he comes up to you and he sort of goes, could you draw me like my dad? He's got like this really big sword and he kills things with it and he protects us. I want to be like him.
I will go full hog on this one, and I will not charge him.
Oh, okay. All right. So he's got like this wooden sword, you know, like those play swords. There's kind of like chipped in places. He's obviously tried whacking things with it. He sort of stands 5 feet back and he kind of does the whole like heroic pose with the sword like in the air.
I'll give him like the extra like rippling shirt, the flowing hair, the hairy chest, the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you don't charge him for it, but you've made 4 silver pieces by the time everyone else is finished with their shopping. Koravar, how much stuff are you getting? Like, what are you buying?
I don't know. I don't like how I was singled out. No, it's I kind of do the as I kind of look through. I go back to the skull silk boxers and kind of do the whole stand on one leg thing. Kind of do the man squat. Just kind of shake my leg a little bit. Yeah, these. I'm not trying them on. I'm judging. Like, yeah, I think this is worth it. I go up to the orc. How much are these?
Those are particularly difficult to make in some regards. Those will be 4 silver pieces.
Holy shit! Are they magical?
No, but they're very good quality.
They are very good quality. 3 silver. Three silver and
Go
more.
ahead.
Could I take them off your hands for 3 silver instead?
Well, that depends. How much are you buying from me here?
Well, I was only trying to buy the boxers, to be honest with you.
Look, I run a fine establishment here. As you can
Very
tell.
fine.
I'm a sole worker. I have 1 assistant. I'm trying to make a living.
And you have a wife and kids at home and you're supporting as well.
No.
Pay the man, Koravar.
Fine. 4 silver. Grumble.
Thank you. Gives you like a side glare.
I'd like. Sorry.
No, go.
Is Basra still looking at Koravar? Did you want to keep going? I can wait.
Just as one thing, just just in spite of it, I'll pay him in copper to equal 4 silver, just because.
That side glare
What a
gets more
penny,
intense.
man.
Kel will kick him.
Is Bosher still looking at the monocle?
He is, apparently.
If he is, I'd walk up to him and I'd be like, with a top hat and a bow tie, it adds a bit of intimidation in the upper class. That's what it's for. I can see you thinking about it as you've been tapping on it. It's for intimidation in higher society. I'd be willing to pay if you have an interest in it.
He looks at it. He's like, prove position? Yeah.
What did he say? I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time talking.
No worries. I'm sorry about
Get
that.
on board with that.
All right. I will address the orc and I'd be like, do you have maybe a bow tie and a top hat? Something in his colors. And he'd point at at Bashra.
You know, we actually do indeed have your size. It just so happens that a bunch of my own kind really came along the other day in search of some fancy attire. So they cleared out quite a lot, but I made some more just in case I had another visit from such similar party. Let me go and get those for you.
Much appreciated.
So he goes out and he brings back a top hat. He brings out two actually. One that has like a black ribbon and one that has like a white ribbon on the top. He brings out a couple more manacles that he lays out. They're all fairly similar design. They're just sort of extra manacles. Monocles, sorry. Monocles. They're very different things. What else did you ask for again? Bow tie.
Bow ties.
Brings out
Yeah.
a number of bow ties. One black, one blue, and one white.
I will turn to Bashra and I'll go, well, I said I'd buy.
I'll point at the white ones. Obviously, since I have black scales.
How much for those ones there?
Well, you see, this was made for the intentions of fancier parties, naturally. So the top hat's gonna roll.
Oh, of course.
The top hat's gonna run you 1 gold piece, but with your discount, I'd say 8 silver pieces. The bow tie, 2 silver pieces. The monocle there, as you can see, it's kind of got this sort of gold design. I'd say that'll run you 3 silver pieces. My pardon.
So, can I give you 2 gold pieces and call it even? Or is that less than what you asked for? I'm sorry, I'm not great at math.
I believe that should suffice, yes.
Alright, and I will hand him 2 gold pieces, and I will turn to Bashra and say, now if you ever get to fine dining, you'll be the most terrifying man in the room.
Indeed you will.
I immediately put on the top hat, the monocle, and the bow tie, and turn to Corvar. And look at him menacingly.
As I'm holding my leg and kind of rubbing it from the kick that I received for reasons I have no idea why, I just kind of look up at you like, oh, that's horrifying.
I'll look at Plink and go, nice.
Plink's just gonna nod and give him a thumbs up. You got this, big man.
As you guys look at Basha, the one eye with the monocle in it is just like enlarged.
I do go over Bashra, if I may though. I reach over, tilt the top hat down at like a little 20-degree angle, and I move the monocle from the eye that he currently has it on to the other side, to where it's kind of like the monocle and the hat's kind of sloped down like this. There you go.
I believe at this point I would have finally come out of the dressing room and just like taken my time and just plop, 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 no shoes still, and just kind of like, look, Bashra, now we're both ready for a party. Bees. And he just looks so happy.
At about the same time, Blackbow would come through with his armour back on, with his waistcoat and the scarf and hat, pretty happy with his style. But he'd look round and he'd say to the half-orc running again, "Do you have anything for eyes?"
For what, sorry?
My eyes, like, I don't know, that covers both of them, like a monocle, like goggles or something.
I did just take inventory on that. As you can see, along the bench top here, we've got a number of monocles. If you're looking for goggles specifically, those of like the snow kind or just the wind kind, I might have a few pairs about the place. Let me go and have a look.
Okay, and also, I'm going to give him a silver and say, "That's for letting me use your changing room. I appreciate you didn't need to."
Ah, well, thank you. And he goes off, brings back a couple. It's just two goggles, types of goggles. One seems to have like that orange flare across the lenses, and the other just seems to be like a plain, soft, malleable leather wrap goggles with the clear lens.
I look at the orange ones. Are they also, what colour are the straps?
The straps are black.
Ooh. I go, "How much for that one?"
That one, well, that one, as you can see, is made with I actually had to work with the blacksmith on this one. You see, I don't design the lenses myself, and so my friend at the blacksmith there, he designs these lenses, and I think he used a special type of sandstone technique for these ones, so they're going to be a bit more pricey. I'll put them at 1 gold piece.
Do they offer any eye benefits?
I mean, if you get into sandstorms, or if you get into really bright light, they act as protectors for bright light.
Well, I'm not a big fan of the sun.
Let's call them sun goggles then.
And I kind of take off my kind of crushed top hat and put it on the floor. And I take out 1 gold piece and I put it there and I go, "I think you've made yourself a deal." And I push over the gold piece. My last gold piece.
Very well. Thank you for that. I might have to make some more of these. They seem relatively popular.
I then put on the
One of mine.
goggles, twirl my hat, put it on my head, kind of tip it, and go, "Thank you."
Did any did anyone else have some business?
I think the only thing left was just, unless Kel knows, to ask him where the nearest blacksmith is.
Yes. So he directs you to a blacksmith called the Metal Rose. The Metal Rose, and it's basically just like a 10-minute walk away.
And then I just thank him again for his services.
Okay.
And do a twirl.
It's a very beautiful twirl. With your 2 dresses. So you guys head out of the aromatic attire, and you see Adamus standing there with the with her painting supplies, with this kid still just standing there. You can see Adamus is just about finished painting up this portrait, and you notice something that's out of the corner of your eye, and only Adamus has seen this before, but now you guys all see this relatively small, about tuckbow size, halfling figure in black cloak that seems to be trying to pilfer through Adamus's stuff, sort of around the hip. Just as you guys walk out sort of like sees you, gets a shock, and just begins to dart. And we're
Like
going to go and
to-
take a break.
Oh,
Okay.
So we'll meet back here in about 20. And
okay.
yeah,
Quick
chase up from
question.
there.
Quick
Yeah.
question, DM. Would those sun goggles help with my sunlight sensitivity at all?
We'll get to the sort of finer details during the break, and then we'll revisit it back when we come back in.
Okay.
How
Alright.
terrifying is it gonna be for a halfling to see a goblin chasing after him barefoot in a bumblebee dress?
Yeah. All right. See you soon.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Back from our break. So, you guys left off where the halfling cloaked figure seen you, startled, and started to dash away from Adamus. What are you guys doing?
I bolted after.
How far away is he?
I want
From you guys be standing about 10 feet away from the front of the door.
Before Fish bolts off, I cast Long Strider on him.
Okay.
I'm also going to go bolting off.
I turn off gravity to make just him float.
Okay. So, for the sake of this, I'd like Plink and Trixie. What were you doing?
I was bolting after as well.
Okay. I'd like Plink and Korrivar to roll me spellcasting roll. So roll d20, add your spellcasting attack modifier. Okay. So.
I don't know if it helps, but I'm gonna put it in bot commands. But the spell anti-gravity requires a save from the target.
Okay. So, Fish, you start bolting after them. What's your movement speed?
50.
50 feet?
Unless
Yeah.
it's increased by the Long Strider, then it would be 50, yeah.
Okay, so
No. Truly, with Long Strider, it becomes 60.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is it's 50
Okay.
without Long Strider, my bad.
you start bolting after them, and it seems that they initially get a head start, and you start to slowly catch up to them. However, they seem to be going faster than what you anticipated. However, you're still gaining on them. Plink and Korrivar, as you cast off your spells, you feel the spells leave your body. And like that familiar sense of connection. And then you feel through that connection a fizzle, almost like you can hear it, this archaic burning, sizzling sound as your spells fail, as if they're being cancelled by something. You still expend your spell slots, but the spells fail. Kel.
What the fuck?
Kel. So, something that you'd remember, based on your time here and anyone else that's from here, is that Westruun, over the years, has been heavily enchanted with essentially an anti-magic field that has to, and the government system here essentially means that any magical objects can pass through and stay activated. However, anything that is released from the magical items, such as spells, or if people try and cast things, they are cancelled out, and you have to get special permits from the government to be able to have your spells work.
let Korvar know. I suppose if his spell fizzled.
That could have been useful information, Kel.
I
Yeah,
was
I
there
still
for 2
agree that
years,
would
and
have been useful.
I only ever did magic in the forest. I forgot.
Nevertheless, you are sprinting after him, and he takes you down a couple side alleys before eventually you manage to catch up to him. Are you tackling him, or?
Straight headbutt to the back of the head.
Alright, make me an attack roll.
$17.
17 hits.
Damage.
How much?
7.
7 damage?
Yeah.
Okay. You whack him in the back of the head, and as you do so, he sort of tumbles forward and lands like on his back, looks up to you, and he starts getting up.
I want to him.
Huh?
I want to continue my movement and stand over him to stop him from getting up.
You do so, and he sort of whacks your boot off, does a side roll, and starts to try and jab you in the side. However, you're too quick, and as you do so, he goes wide. He looks at you, looks you in the face and sees your face and says, "Oh." His face looks kind of scared.
Goblin in a bumblebee dress, dude. I'd be scared too.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna look at him really pissed and be like, I suggest you stop running, because I promise I'll catch you.
Make me an intimidation check. The rest of you, what are you doing?
Not good.
I'm gonna catch up with
I'm
Fridge.
still running after, trying to catch up.
Okay, so you will start running.
Same.
Yeah.
And if we get within, I think it's 30 feet, I'm going to check real fast. I will just, it's not a spell, it's just a magical ability, so I don't know if that still applies. But same thing, I'm just going to increase gravity and crush him into the ground. Just density.
Okay, so you catch up. You guys start to catch up. You say this, Fish, and it's sort of like... Fine. Damn it. And he doesn't seem to be actively aggressive at the moment, though he looks frustrated. At that moment, Korvar, you come around the corner. You see him there, and you do your ability.
Correct.
Is that a saving throw on his part?
No, it just happens.
It just happens. So what's...
As an action, I magically alter the weight of one object or creature within 30 feet, large or smaller. The creature is doubled, so your speed is reduced, and everything just doubles in weight on him.
Okay. So as you come around the corner and you cast this ability, essentially, you see, in the muck of the street, he just sort of sinks a little bit.
Stay down.
All right. Moving.
Guys,
Takbo would have been following Korvar, and when he gets around the corner, he's just going to take out his hand crossbow, load it, and start slowly bringing it down to the hooded figure. Just quietly.
It's okay, guys. I caught him. He'll listen. We don't have to hurt him.
would you all fucking chill out? Honestly, it's fine.
I don't like thieves.
Could
I
we
don't
cut off
really
his hand?
Hey,
No.
leave him
No.
alone. He's being nice right now. And I'm gonna take my hand and just lower the crossbow.
He'll be perfectly fine if he returns whatever he took out of your bag, Adamus. Because The adjust gravity, the adjust density only lasts like 6 seconds of one round, so I'm preparing to cast it again, and I make a show of that too.
I'm gonna kneel in front of him and be like, I'm sorry. I reacted really bad. Can I ask what your name is?
He looks highly confused. Well, for starters, I didn't take anything off of your friend.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
Also, I want to do an insight check.
Go for it.
I say we feed him to the lizard folk.
12.
No.
12. And Trixie.
A solid 8.
As he says this, you get a sense of he's highly disappointed in himself. You get the sense that there's some genuinity in his words. Looking at you, Fish, he goes, I'm Jack. What are you...
Are you from around here?
Yeah, I mean, I live here.
Just having a hard time in life right now.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, I've been there. Hey, Korvar, can you let him go, please?
Yes, but I'm still prepping the next the next alteration of that. Yeah, words.
You
I'm going...
letting me go?
Well, you didn't actually take anything, so you kind of failed. I suggest you know, practice some more. But, next time, maybe not go for big, scary groups of people. Try to get them secluded.
Oh no! By all means, go for big groups of scary people. Just don't fuck with us.
I tell you what you should do. Go after lizard folks who are wearing backpacks. They'll be way more nice than we are. They'll give you money for it.
Ignore them. Just ignore them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give them a gold piece. Just
Fish,
try
we
to
don't.
make better choices.
Fish, I know you're not really used to the whole civilized thing, but we don't give gold to people who try to steal from us.
I don't need your permission.
He puts it
He's
in his
quite
pocket.
right.
Just try to make better choices and be careful, because if we had decided otherwise, you would have been dead. And he kind of laughs when he says it like you're nothing.
I mean, that's illegal, but sure.
So stealing.
Well, at least I don't die. Anyway.
Trixie's gonna stand right behind Fish and just start twirling one of his daggers.
I'm gonna go if we're cool. Yeah.
If I see you again, there'll be trouble.
It's nice meeting you.
All right.
We should race sometime.
Maybe. You, I don't know any of your names, but metal person. I know who took your stuff. It wasn't me, but you are our target today, anyway. If you want to find them, well, there's a shop over there. If you go around the back and tap on the barrels 3 times and say that Artemis is the one, then yeah, you should find who you're looking for. Alright, bye.
No honor among thieves then. Hey, just before you fucking go, you little shit.
He's like halfway around the corner, he like pokes his head back around.
Do they need it?
Huh? I'd say no.
The gold. They don't need the gold,
I
so why are they
mean-
taking it?
It's a thieves guild. What do you expect?
I told you we should have killed him.
It would have been fine if you had needed it, but you were just stealing for fun. Alright, I'm sick of this. Go away.
He's already gone.
Little shit.
Did we get hit?
I'm just gonna turn to Takbo and be like, killing people over small material objects is wrong.
Okay, well, that's not exactly true, Fish.
Yes, it is.
We're, well, I'll leave it alone for now.
People who
Adam
got
keeps moving
stole.
over to the top.
People who steal from the
Mhm.
tribe get kicked out or killed.
Yes.
I'll go with
That's-
Adamus.
But if we were
Oh,
to
yeah,
steal
Adam.
from someone, we wouldn't want them to kill us either.
If travelers found my tribe stealing from their caravan, they'd kill my tribe.
Welcome to a new tribe, Takbo.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like it.
I
I
I
don't really
gotta
agree with
admit,
stealing
I made
either.
my living stealing from wizards. I mean, I get it.
I give Plink the dirtiest look.
And I've said this like 3 times, and he just kind of looks back up at him.
I'm gonna follow after Kel and Adamus.
I follow after them well, but I start checking over all my component pouches and all my wizardry stuff, just because.
Plink's gonna look at Corvar and while holding Plink's bag, and he's just kind of like laugh and grin, as if he's like messing with something that he's taken.
You all check your components and pouches and whatnot. You all seem to be you all seem to have your things. There's nothing unaccounted for, except for obviously you, Adamus.
Yeah, I
What's
follow.
the goal?
Just gold.
Yeah, I follow after, but I just kind of put a good 15 feet between me and Plink, just because.
Takbo's gonna be
I'm
walking.
going right around.
Takbo's gonna be walking next to Caravar, since Caravar was the only one not to have a go at him for trying to kill the thief.
Okay.
In a weird way, he's kind of just gonna stand next to his friend now.
Okay.
I give Takbo a little fist bump, just
Killing people.
defending ourselves.
Agreed.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Adamus is already at the fucking shop.
Yes, Kel's with her.
Left.
What shop?
Sorry,
Yeah,
Kel's with
same.
him.
Corvar's not too far behind.
Yeah, with my speed, I would have caught up in no time. Which is when I would have tried to
Trixie,
What
sneak
shop are we
the
going
stuff
to?
in the pouch.
Excuse me.
The one that he
the
pointed
shop-
out to us?
Okay, so you go to that shop. So you go over to it, and it's just this generic general goods store that seems a little bit wasteful wear. Certainly not the top of the range kind of thing or anything like that. But you head on around the back, and there indeed are 3 barrels, 2 stacked upon each other, and then 1 next to it. Do you knock?
well, I'll do it if no one else does.
Uh,
Say, Plink will
I am
knock.
there first, so I will fucking knock that door down.
The barrel or the door?
The door.
So you
Oh damn, this is.
okay. So you go into the front door rather than the back.
Didn't you say there was a back door?
No.
Okay, so there are just barrels at the back.
Yeah.
Sometimes thieves' guilds that have some interesting.
Cool, sweet. Just knock the fucking barrels out of the way.
Okay. So you start to basically just whack these barrels across, and the first 2, especially the top one that's standing on top, it just rolls and hits the opposite wall on the other building, and then the other barrel you just sort of kick, and it kind of rattles between against the other barrel and then back against you, and then sort of rolls away, and you begin to kick the other one, and then just sort of It doesn't move.
I will fucking incinerate it.
With
Give me a second. Oh, just Thorn Whip it.
so you try to cast Thorn Whip, and the spell
All
connects,
right.
but doesn't work.
Does it count if it's a natural base spell?
I
Not
tap on
technically
Adamus
Arcana.
and I hand her this little bronze device, and I say, "If you're trying to make a scene, press the button and walk backwards. Drop it."
I will do exactly that.
And as she does, the explosive effect of my Loomis will take place.
Oh boy.
Wicked.
Remind me again what we said about that.
It is to the. Hold on, I have to look into our conversation, but remember it was just a grenade effect.
Yeah, it was like 2d8 or something.
I'm not entirely sure. Give me just a second.
So he hands you this.
While you look, I was going to make a comment. Just whoever's next to me, like to Takbo or Trixie or Bosch or whoever's closest. Holy shit! I've never seen Adamus so pissed off.
He's scary when he does that. But he saved my life, so I'll help him.
So Plink hands you this spherical object that seems to be, for those of you who've seen Treasure Planet, kind of that little spherical ball that has like all the buttons
That's
and
exactly
the
it.
carvings and stuff. It's kind of like a medieval version of that. He starts to twist and rotate things, and then there's this one button that pops up out of like, yeah, there you go. And he hands it to you, indicating that button is what you press.
You did say 2d6, yes.
2d6.
You're correct.
Okay.
It was 2d6 plus int was the original conversation. I don't know if you wanted to add the plus int or not.
Yeah, we'll add the plus int. Yeah. So if you
My int modifier is plus 4. So,
Alright, so if you
Adam,
wanna roll
you want
that.
me to roll it or her? Okay.
Oh, it's your object. It's connected to your magic, so you'd be rolling. So Adamus, you push the button.
Step
Push
back.
the button. Lay it down there. All right. So you guys take a few steps back, and then Plink sort of advises you maybe a little further. You go about 10 feet away, and you guys are sort of, it's like a 10-foot alleyway, essentially. And it's this corner where the two alleys meet, like a crossroad kind of thing. And the barrels are sort of just there at the back of the general goods. And as this thing sort of, you can see the light within it starting to heat up. And then you just hear this as it explodes and shrapnel goes everywhere. The barrel itself splinters and smashes into like hundreds of pieces, like planks sort of going everywhere. And this the one metal ring at the top of the barrel shoots off upwards, sort of like at first like it gets thrust outwards, hitting the side of the building, then bouncing its way sporadically upwards and then onto the roof of the other building. But after everything is sort of settled, you see at the bottom of this barrel is a small circular trapdoor, essentially.
Flink is gonna sit there nodding his head with the biggest grin ever, like, "Oh my god, it fucking worked!"
What the fuck was that?
It was us not dying, which was what I thought was gonna happen.
Why don't you give us something that might kill us?
Everything might kill you. Don't think of it like that.
I've already
I
looked
might
at that
fucking
point.
kill you.
As he
Why are we
says that,
trusting
he's
the
gonna
man on
walk
the
up and
chicken?
look at the little entryway, and he's gonna. Can Plink fit into that entryway?
Oh yeah, you can all fit.
All right. He's
down.
gonna say, "Well, you can sit here and be mad at me for killing some barrels, or we can go down here." Adamus, what do you think?
Barrels.
I'm already down.
And he's gonna follow her straight down. He's just gonna follow her straight down.
All right.
Cow's going to.
I would
We're all
like,
gonna get killed by the Thieves Guild, man.
I would like to look around. I mean, that was a pretty big little explosion. Is that drawing people toward
Thank you
us?
very much. I worked hard on that.
Like guards?
Well, we're about to find out.
Tekbo looks to Korifar and is like, what do we do?
Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Holy shit.
Should
Animus,
we leave or go with them? Or
Nope,
stay?
in for a penny, in for a pound. We're all birds of a feather. We're all here together. Yeah, I'm down, but Jesus, God's almighty.
Can I, and this is an odd question, can I hold up my hand crossbow. Could I get on your back to have a height advantage so I can shoot down from above? They're all going to be halflings.
Sure, you'll be the second most safe person in the party, though.
I'm going to climb onto Korovar's back and put my hand crossbow on his shoulder.
okay. In that moment, you hear this ding as Adamus opens the trapdoor. You hear the snapping of a string and then a firing of a bolt. Adamus, you get hit by one of these bolts. Are you resistant to poison at all?
Yes.
You are resistant or immune?
Resistant to poison, immune to disease.
Okay, so you take 2 points of piercing damage and 2 points of poison damage.
Is that already halved?
Yes, as this dart shoots off into like scratches the side of your rib cage there, sort of chips a little bit of the wood away. But otherwise, you're okay. You can feel it's laced with like a mild poison. But it seems whatever trap was there is now deactivated. And you
Is
can
it
see
like an arrow or a bolt?
It's a bolt.
Sweet. I'm gonna pick it up.
Alright, you pick it up. You can see the little bit of a dent on the arrowhead from where it hit you, but otherwise still functional.
Is there poison on it still?
No.
Which, by the way, too, with Kel's admission of magic not really working here without a license, I'm effectively useless in any type of engagement that we get in. So just bear that in mind.
Bye-bye.
I've got your back.
Suddenly, I'm glad to
literally.
be an inventor.
Would wild shape
It's an ability.
wild shape still works, right?
It should. You can try.
Okay.
So, Adamus, you start to make your way down the ladder that appears below the trapdoor. Much a similar style to back in the Umber Hills by the barracks is a single file ladder formation through the rock and the stone until it gets down to a larger room, probably about 50 feet down. But you eventually all make your way down to this level. It's pitch black.
I will, as we're moving in, I'm gonna try again, just for my own intellectual pursuits. I try to cast mage armor on myself.
When you're down there.
Yeah, as we're kind of just moving through, because this will determine on how close or how far away from the battle that I get, or how close I get. I tried again, mage armor.
And while he's doing that, Plink's gonna, if we're all standing around, Plink's gonna tug on him and be like, or if he's near me, try the hat.
Alright, so you cast Mage Armor, you feel it connect, and then this shining shimmer of armor shines across your body.
So it worked. That's
Anti magic here.
that's interesting. Okay.
So, you guys enter roughly a 30 by 30 room, and in front of you is a narrowing tunnel to about 10 feet wide that stretches out for a while. But there you find quickly, for those that you have dark vision, you find quickly that as you're making your way through this corridor here, there are a number of passageways. It seems almost like a maze. You can either choose to continue straight or head off one of these other passageways. It's up to you, but none of you have any idea of where you're going.
Is there any way I can make a survival check to try to see if there's any footprints or obvious signs that somebody's been using one of them in particular?
Make a survival check.
Trixie at this point is probably going to go on ahead and put his hood up and then very, very stealthily move the eye patch from one eye to the other.
And I whisper to those that are more magically inclined. Mage armor worked for myself, so I guess in this building, we may be okay to use magic for those that use it.
So, you try to find traces of any semblance of tracks or anything like that that would lead you to any path that you should follow. Nothing seems to get you. However, Bashra and would be Kel actually. You smell something funky in the air. The rest of you all smell a strange smell in the air, but you two in particular seem to identify this smell, and it's the smell of illegal substances that slightly hangs in the air. And as you're wandering through a little bit, you can start to pick up on which passageways seem to lie heavier with this hang in the air.
I'm gonna start heading off in that.
Yeah, Kel will point that out as well.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna head in that direction.
Alright.
Sorry.
I'm going to climb on top Bosher's head, so that way I can still see where we're going.
Alrighty. There are two directions that you can go, left or right.
Right.
Alright.
Right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Adamus, are you heading leading this?
Yep.
Okay. With Basha and Kel's direction, you start leading your way through these tunnels. Yes, Fish?
Take my hatchet and in the wall try to make a mark so we know that we've come this way.
Okay. Sure. You guys start
Does
wandering
it
through.
stick?
Yes, it's stone.
Okay.
You guys start wandering through these tunnels. Maybe wandering for about 10 minutes before eventually you come to a door in the side of the wall. The passageway continues as well. So there's a door in the wall and the passage continues. Which one are you taking?
I'll tug on the door.
Okay. You try and open the door and it opens. And inside you're greeted with light, which sort of makes you sort of blink a little bit before you adjust, and you see 2 or 3 figures sitting down at a table within this underground section of the city. Around the room you can see a couple other tables just sort of generally populating the vicinity, and it's lit by sconces, candle sconces. And other than that, it seems to be a fairly plain room. A couple cupboards and shelves here and there. And as you enter, the door opens, they sort of lazily look up, and then they see you, sort of double take. And there's this moment of where you both don't do anything, and they sort of jump up from the table. They go, "Who are you? Why are you down here?" You can see that
Yeah, there's
they're
no
reaching
hesitation on my end.
to do what?
I'm just gonna walk straight up, fucking up to them.
Should I shoot him?
Alright, you start walking up to them and they say, "Stop! I won't hesitate." Preparing their weapons.
Artemis is the one.
How do you know of this?
Can't give away all my secrets. And I'm gonna cast. Oh, how big is the room?
It's about 70 feet wide, about 50 feet long.
I'm not gonna cast anything because Adamus is in there. I won't do that. Never mind.
Adamus, what are you doing?
I'm a wild shape into a wolf and a lunge at one and pin him to the ground.
Okay. All right. Roll initiative.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna get
we have
ready to back
chosen
him up.
option B.
All right. Let's
It's time to fight.
I'm just trying to like help with the intimidation.
I'm just gonna resolve
Not
this.
attacking him.
Hang on. Ah, come on. Yes. For fuck's sake. Okay. Just gotta remember the commands here. Yep. And then yes. There we go. Okay, finally. Alright, let's go. And begin. There you go.
Okay, these low rolls for this bot roller are just pissing me off.
Whoa.
Welcome to my world, Korvar. Welcome to my world.
He says with a 22 on initiative. He rolled a freaking natural 20.
I'd love a 20 on something other than initiative.
And as we're going into this one, Takwa, you're still on my back and shoulder, holding on, right?
Yeah, I've got my cran crossbow loaded in one hand though.
Okay. I love the smalls of the party are mounted combatants.
You're my sniper tower.
Oh, can I jump on S'more if I see that there's aggression going on? That reminds me.
Sure.
Alright, I would do so.
Okay. We have everyone now?
DM just really wanted to fight us in combat and everything. That's why this encounter's happening.
I'm glad, man. Combat's my favorite part.
Oh no, the music's changing.
Bet it is.
And I'm last in initiative. That is awesome. That is great.
It's a bit quiet though. Here we go. Alright. So, Plink, what are you doing? Oh wait, sorry. Adamus, you go first. And then we'll go Plink. Just because of the way things evolved here.
That's fine, because I don't know what's going on yet. I just know that Adamus has made someone mad, and I support him.
No. No, I've just wild shaped into a wolf and I am trying to pin this guy to the ground so he can give us the answers that we're looking for.
Make your attack rolls.
Okay.
Now, I believe as a wolf, you have an ability where if you land a lunge, they make a strength saving throw.
Oh, really? Dope. Hold on, let
think.
me just quickly check that out.
I believe it's with a successful attack.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I was wondering
It's
that.
it's their bite attack. They
Okay,
must
cool.
make a DC 11 strength saving throw.
Alright.
Doppity dope dope.
Alright. Dopey dope. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. So,
DC 11.
so I don't know if this would be like an.
Yeah.
It's not like a. Got your standard wolf right over here. What would the bonus be to this? Because the only thing that I can see here is like the bite attack. So would it be a +4 as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's based on your strength.
Okay. Gotcha.
Wolf strength, anyway. Yeah, so roll your attack.
A wheel.
He fails his strength saving throw. Just FYI. Currently, that hits.
Oh shit.
They are not wearing their armor at the moment because they weren't expecting people down here.
Cool. Yeah, no, I've pinned him to the ground. That's all I want to do. I just kind of want to
Oh.
stare at him.
Not going to do damage?
No, I'm not looking to fight. I want answers.
Oh, I see. Okay. So yeah, you transform into this metallic wolf, and as you do so, you use your back legs, and as they're transforming, you lunge off of them as they elongate, causing like this lunge attack. And you just pin one of these guys onto like the bench, and you just sort of, with your front paws on the top, you're just sort of snarling in his face, and he's like, oh. Like looking around at his buddies, and the other two are just like reaching for their swords, and they slowly pull them out, but they just sort of hesitate for a moment.
Is it my turn then?
Yeah.
As they go to draw their swords, I'm gonna go. Now I wouldn't do that if I were you. He does not act like this very often. You have made him very angry. Why would you steal from him? Do you see him?
Make a intimidation check with advantage.
Yeah, I gotta go, man.
Hoi.
Plink the scary gnome.
I ate a cookie at the same time. My apologies. I just sort of snacking mid combat. All right. So, all right. Basha, are you heading off? Okay. All right. I'll see you next time, man.
See, man.
All right. So, after you say that, they sort of look at you, look at the wolf, just sort of terrified, slowly put their weapons back. Okay. What do you want?
We'd like our money back, please.
All right. That's technically it's your turn, but it depends on what you guys want to do. If you guys want to keep attacking and stuff, you can, but they don't seem to be aggressive at this point.
I was gonna say I'm not intending to attack unless I see Adamus jump to attack.
Mm-hmm.
You've made it a successful intimidation attack, or attempt. So they don't seem to be.
Yeah, so that's all.
They don't seem to be wanting to fight you at this stage. So you guys can roleplay if you want.
Yeah, so I would say we'd like our money back. Go ahead, Techboy, sorry.
Techboy's just going to look extremely disappointed that combat's not happening. And just grumble to himself.
Well, depends. I don't remember stealing from you, and the other one on the bench that Adamus is pinning down kind of goes, I might have taken your money. Please don't eat me.
Oh, you hear that, Adamus? This one's got good memory.
So you're paying back what was taken plus interest, right?
Yep. Sure. Yep.
Hey, are those short swords you're wielding there? Can I have those?
No, they're yours. They're your short swords. I was just
fantastic. Actually, they're his, and he points to Korvar. Give them over to him.
Please, can you get off of me, please?
Adamus, what you thinking? They seem very friendly all of a sudden.
Bare my teeth, and if wolves could smile.
And just because we're going with this whole theme of intimidation, I'll just kind of wiggle my hands a little bit and cast Enlarge on Adamus, and she grows an entire size larger.
Are you still on him?
No, I would have like backed up after I smiled.
Right,
I don't.
As you do that, you just swell in size. You can hear the of the metal parts of his body just grow and enlarge until you're like this. Technically, I guess a large creature filling this space. These metal fangs now, probably the size of a finger each. And he just sort of, like he's still on the bench, he looks down, just like, oh, okay. And you can see like this wet patch just start to form around his trousers.
And once you return what was stolen and the short swords, maybe tell others not to mess with us.
Sure. Did you have a name?
Let me get back to you on that.
I'm gonna whisper into Caravar's ear. Caravar's crew.
No. No, we should take the time as a group to come up with something good.
Well,
Remember, he's gonna look at the guy and go, "Remember our faces. We stand out."
yeah. I'll remember.
And some
Gothel
future
and
reference,
Rats
if you're a
waves to the
thief,
corner.
maybe size up your marks before you take from them. Come on now, look at us.
Let's leave it at that. You know our faces. You'll spread it around and mess with us. We return what's stolen, and we all go out here with no one dying. Let's just leave it at that.
I have a thing. Remember our faces, or have someone eat yours for you.
That's horrifying.
I whisper up attack, but I think the point was made.
I just want them to.
Pat Bashra.
Just to puncture that point. Yeah. Wellfish is, patting Basha. Just like growl bark at them, I guess, just to punctuate the end of that sentence. Yeah.
Yep. The one on the right that you guys were initially talking to sort of looks down at the one still on the bench that's wet himself. Just kind of walks over to him, just kind of shakes his head, whacks him across the top of the head. Ah! Sorry. Look.
And Plinko look at him. What are your names?
Look, that's not really something we want to divulge here, but we will leave you alone. We apologize. Take your money, take the interest in the short swords, and be on your way. Sorry.
Very agreeable. I like it. It was nice working with you.
I collect the short swords. We'll accept the gold on Adamus's behalf. I'll give it back to you when we go outside. Let's all just go on our merry little ways, and just call this a day ended. Yes.
Excuse me. Do you have a back door we could use?
Well,
Not your back door, the place's back door. Just specifying.
Oh my god.
Give me.
This is really uncomfortable. So just go back out the door, head left, right, left, and up.
Thank you very much.
Alright. Be seeing you then.
And remember, we know where you live.
He's kind of side-eyes his friends. He's got a side-eye back. Just like that look of shit. As you guys are starting to leave, Adamus, Kel, and let's say Basha and Korova, you also notice on that table. Yes, Trixie?
Trixie would have actually held back for a second. He's going to want a moment with them alone.
Sure. But just as everyone else is filtering out, you four notice that on the tables, specifically the one that they were at before, a little bit just disjointed now with the whole like wolf jumping on people thing, but there are a couple pouches on the table itself, and a number of them, there seems to be like this very fine white powder sort of covering parts of the table, kind of like a dust, and there seems to be one bag that it is particularly it's sort of pouring from, or rather has spilt from, among a couple, it seems to be just a deck of playing cards and a candle. But yeah, so you guys filter out, and Trixie, you left in the room.
Can I grab one of those bags before we get out?
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, now I was going to ask, do I notice what it is? Like, would I know what it is?
From first glance, you're not sure, but you're more than welcome to study the bag that Animus took. And as you take it, Animus, he sort of goes, yep.
I do whisper to Adamus, I don't like thieves, Adamus. That it really isn't ours. They repaid us, but it's up to you.
I'll put it down.
Are you in wolf form still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you put it back down? All right.
Can I take it?
I mean, you did hear just hear what Korvar said.
No, but I steal from wizards.
Look, just take the bag, okay? Just
Take
it.
the
Never mind.
bag.
Yep, never mind. He gave it to us. It's no longer stealing. I'm cool with this.
Yeah, just the one,
I will
please,
take it.
But yep. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
If it's still.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you pick the bag back up,
Mhm.
and you leave the room. Trixie,
Mhm.
you're left behind.
I don't think you gentlemen fully understood who you were messing with, and I can forgive you for that. However, you did mess with my friends. Now, I'm willing to overlook that. You may not recognize me, but I am pretty well known in some parts amongst our type of people. I need people who can give me information of any of the underground stuff happening around here. You're going to be my new contacts. If there's something going around here of an illegal nature or a dangerous nature, it's come to me and you're to tell me.
Wait. You're that. Yeah. Whatever you need. What? Sure. We'll be in contact whenever you need. Just you know where to find us.
Yep, I appreciate that one, and I will then turn and leave.
You hear as you close the door behind you. Do you close the door?
Yeah, I'll close the door behind me.
Okay. As you're closing the door, just before it's completely shut, you hear this like exhale, like, and you walk away with your friends. So you guys leave the vicinity, follow the path that you were given.
Yeah.
The back door.
I would.
I'm gonna hide in Bosher's backpack because I have an idea of what's waiting for us, and goblins are not taken too kindly when explosions happen.
Okay. So you head out the door that they mentioned, and it's up another ladder. Obviously, as you go up to the surface, and you push open, and you can see now as you're going upwards rather than down this time, this door is also trapped. It seems that appears that most of the passageways are trapped. However, it's trapped from the outside. So from the inside, you can easily disable and reset the trap as it was its design.
I just mage hand and push it open to let it set off in the direction not facing us.
Okay. Sure. Not giving you a care in the world then, just setting it off. That's fine. The bolt shoots off out into the distance without knowing where it goes. And sure. And you guys make your way out. As you come out of the underground place to the surface within the city, you notice that you're more within where the bathhouse is. You sort of pop out around the back of some of the buildings where, as you start to file out one of the alleyways, you look down the left and the bathhouse is just across the road there.
Guys, doth my eyes deceive me? The bathhouse. Should we partake again? This is divine
No.
fate.
No.
Um,
No.
Korva, your
No.
mage
Yeah, I
armor
don't think so.
fails and drops.
Now that we're outside, yeah, okay. Interesting.
You guys can hear in the distance, "I came from over here! Quick!" And sort of various guard shouts.
suggest-
So, out of curiosity, the grate that we are coming out of is metallic?
No, it's a wooden door out of another barrel.
And a question for the mage armor. So the mage armor lasts 8 hours. Is it suppressed or is it like straight up can't?
You're not sure.
He froze.
Yeah, you did freeze.
I love the pose.
Oh yeah, someone screenshot that.
Okay, anyway, moving on. What are you guys doing? As Korva seems to catch a cold as he looks down at the bathhouse.
I suggest we find a place to bunker down and review our next steps.
Trixie will move his eye patch back over to his eye again.
Quick
So that
question.
is-
I got the screenshot, guys.
Same. What interest did we get on top of my 100 gold back?
20%.
20%, so we get 20 extra gold. Should we have party funds for that 20 extra gold?
It's your gold that we went to go get. I assume it's yours.
I feel like... Okay. If no one wants the gold, I'm gonna find me an orphanage, and I'm gonna give them the 20 gold.
I want gold.
Yeah.
My inventing
It's
take
like-
a lot of work. It's expensive to be me sometimes.
I will give Plank 20 gold, but I will still go to the orphanage and give them 20 gold.
Okay. Sure. Alright, so you guys start making your way around town trying to find an orphanage. Kel, you kind of leading more of the direction here in this instance. You find one of the only orphanages in Western that's sort of based central in the city, sort of southwestward from the town square. But yeah, you managed to... They have like a donation box on the side of the building that seems to be, the coin slot. Sort of drop in or the padlocked box, and it's made of like a sturdy metal.
I would still go inside and deposit directly to a person.
Okay.
No.
Do you want to roleplay that, or are we happy to just skip over that?
I'm cool to just skip over that if you are.
Let's say you go inside, you deposit 20 gold. They greatly appreciate your donation.
He has returned.
Yes.
God.
Sorry. Mage armor kind of glitched out. Never seen that before. It just kind of froze me in place. That was weird.
Yeah. Takbo.
Right, just a little note, as we got closer and closer to the orphanage, Takpo seemed to be a bit, when the word orphanage was mentioned, he seemed a bit scared, and he started to cling on tighter and tighter to Karavar as they got closer to the orphanage.
Takbo, you don't have to come with if you don't want to.
I'm okay.
I'm sorry. Like I said, Mage Armor kind of did some weird thing. Where are we? Are we not near the bathhouse anymore? We're near a offering
Orphanage.
plate. Or
You blinked into the orphanage.
Yes.
I
That was
am
weird.
depositing the interest that we got from the thieves to an orphanage.
well, we don't. Do we have to quite do that? I mean,
Oh man, you guys are the worst. I'm gonna follow Adamus
Truly.
as this pretty little princess goblin, and I'm also gonna offer 10 gold.
I mean, they're
Orphanage
orphans.
is
They're really. I mean, let's be honest. They're orphans. They really don't need this.
No, Caravar,
And
I
you-
think they should give some money to the orphans.
I agree.
Hey,
I think you
Korovar.
should.
Hey, Korovar,
Yes.
you really don't need that spell book.
orphanage.
They
I
need food.
looked down at my spell book to make sure it's still on me,
It's still on you.
And I'll just smile at you.
and
I'm
look
gonna-
back up.
Smile.
I'm going to deposit 2 silver for the orphanage, and also take out my little jar of holy water, put a drop on the door, and do like a little prayer to Bahamut.
Okay. They appreciate all of your gestures.
At every coin that goes into the offering plate, I just.
I will kick Korovar.
Kids are up. Trixie is just in, and he's like playing with them, and he's letting them touch him and mess around with him. Something that he doesn't allow people to normally do, but because these are little orphan kids, he's being nice and letting them play and that sort of stuff.
They enjoy your company.
Well, after what Takbo does, and if the party is still there, he kind of finds a corner and kind of huddles up. He doesn't look comfortable, as if being in an orphanage reminds him of something. Kind of like he's rocking a little bit.
Carol might just go sit with him. She won't do much, and she'll stay a good distance apart, but she'll sit.
Seeing Korovar act like a little fucking baby, Adamus will walk on over, wrist pocket the 4 silver out, and be like, does that make you feel better?
No, give it to the orphanage. They obviously need it more than I do, or that we do. I hold out 5. No, a silver. No,
Oh, Jesus.
I give 2 silver to Adamus for the contribution.
Eventually, Trixie's going to try and convince Korovar to come and play with the children. It's really not as bad. These children do enjoy company. Do magic. Do something.
Absolutely not. They're diseased little creatures. Nope.
Do I have to threaten you?
I mean, you can try. It's not gonna really affect things.
Think we should find some place to rest our head, review our actions.
Think about what you've done.
I feel like we had a plan for like places we wanted to go as well. Like, do we want to do that before we go find a place to rest?
I think it might be getting a bit late now.
Yeah, it's
Might be
about
right
dusk
in.
at this stage.
We might have to do it in the morning, and then just try and get a place before all the good places go.
Okay, so you guys leave the orphanage and make your way to a place where you can stay the night. Now it is beginning of evening, so you have 2 recommendations based on the guard that you first talked to. Would you like to take him up on any of those, or just find a random one?
Which one of them would be the closest to us right now?
That would be the upper class one, I believe.
There was one the guard specifically recommended because there was a bar or something really close by to it.
Yeah. It was kind of less, obviously less upper class and more your rowdy kind of thing, but it had apparently had good company and good alcohol, good drink, a bar and all.
I'll vote for that one.
Yeah, I want to save our money when we can for doing shopping tomorrow.
So you're going to that
I'm in.
one?
Well, specifically for two reasons. One, it's kind of less ostentatious, less skyliney, and it's cheaper. Because the reason to explain the orphans, I love orphans. They're great. They need money, but I need spells, and I need to I'm trying to save a little bit to purchase a few things to be a benefit to the party.
So yes, we're going to that one.
Okay.
And the cute guard said he'd be there.
More flirting.
Stop making me
Say
remember
what name
NPCs.
Mike was just looking for an excuse to flirt with you, DM.
Mike.
You, them, all of you.
No, Mike,
you
not
know.
Korvar. Mike.
Mike, yes.
No, this is all Corvar. Thank you very much.
Okay, you guys make your way to what you eventually find out to be called the Bed and Feather. It looks like a middle-class rustic inn that seems to lack the drafty breeze of the previous boarded inn or rusty drought tavern from Joran Village. So, possibly retaining more warmth throughout the night, you make your way inside. Immediately, you're greeted with the stench of alcohol, body odor, and the sound of good music, as the entire tavern is now filled with patrons, given that it is the end of the week, and tonight is probably their most rowdy night. And you look across the scene, and you do see in the distance, amongst a couple other members, no one's wearing uniform here. Everyone's in sort of normal, just sort of casual clothes, their evening wear, most of them in kind of less than presentable clothes, just because they're probably aware that in these kind of situations, alcohol tends to go everywhere. And in that midst, you do see the guard that you first spoke to at the gate. As well as
You
the
see, now I know
bartender.
now I know the DM's my spell because he didn't have to be here.
No.
What do you do?
Before Korvar goes over there, I just want to just kind of tap Korvar on the shoulder and be like, do you want to go to your boyfriend and give him this powder that we found and tell them where they are so that we don't have to deal with them again?
Okay, one, it's not
It'll
like that.
give you an excuse to go over to see him.
Some of a bit.
Someone screenshot that, please.
I will do it.
This has just become into
Meanwhile,
a meme run of Korvar.
I'm gonna tug on Kel
Oh man.
and ask if she wants to help me get some rooms for everybody.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Alright.
Because I can't reach the counter.
Trixie overhears Adamus talking about it. He's going to turn around and say, don't worry about revealing where they are. They're not going to be a problem anymore. And if there is any information, trust me, I'll know about it.
So you don't think we should expose them then?
I think they'll be more useful to us.
Well then, I've got no use for this powder. Anybody want it? Plink?
Oh, you know I do.
Here you go
He's
then,
gonna
pal.
jump up. Thank you. He's gonna jump up and grab it.
Okay.
I tried to think what you were going to create with that.
Oh, you and me both.
It's going to be 5 silver pieces for the rooms, or rooms,
Okay.
whatever you want.
Yeah, Kel will pay for all of that.
I was say Plink can pay for everyone's room if you guys want. I'm doing all right.
It's 7 rooms because I know Bosch's gonna sleep outside.
Do you each want a room to yourself?
Caravar, can I bunk with you?
Coravar's not here
Go
right now.
once. So Takbo is
Oh.
gonna bunk with
Then he-
Koravar. I'm bunking with Adamus.
Okay.
Not Basha?
Bosch's outside and I just got clean.
True.
Plus, I need a room because I'm gonna convince Bosher to keep his stuff inside just in case those scary people come back.
So how many rooms?
I will pay how much silver per is in 1 gold? I'm sorry, I don't know the conversion.
10.
10
So it's
silver
4
to a
rooms.
gold.
All right, so I will pay however much in gold is needed to cover everyone's room.
Let's do like 4 rooms and then 2, 4, 6. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So that'd be math. 2 gold
All right.
for 4 rooms. 2 gold for the night.
Okay.
So the rest of the evening festivities continue. Korriban,
Yes.
what do you want to do?
I have the bag of white powder, I guess.
No,
And-
wait a minute. Does he?
No, Plink does.
Oh,
yeah, I've
okay.
got the magic powder.
Don't care. I see my destination by the bar.
Yep.
Go get him, Tiger.
As I walk up, I kind of stroll up and kind of just lean up against the bar. You know, I didn't think I'd see you here.
So it says, "Oh, hey, how you doing? I haven't
I've,
seen you in a while."
Yes, you're a little drunk, aren't you?
I bet I am. So,
Would you like another?
oh, you know it. Sort of looks down. Oh, well, that's about time anyway. I'll finish that one. Yeah, let's have another. But tender.
Yeah, I just kind of I call the bartender or whoever over and 2 for.
Good man. Good man. All right. So, what can I do you for?
Oh, just coming to drink with the one and only person I know here in the city. Just trying to, see what's going on. How you doing?
Well, I'm glad you took me up on recommendation. This is a good place. This, as you can see, my friends here. It's a good place. So, what have you been up to?
Just seeing the sights. I saw the bathhouse, and one just come over and see how it's going. I'm my friends over there, but I was just trying to see if I could find some company for the evening.
Well, if you're looking for company, I mean, there's plenty of people here.
I kind of glance over at the buddies. Not that kind of company.
Ah, I know what you mean. You're in for some wenches, aren't you? Well, they don't really come around this part here. But a couple doors down, sure you can find some satisfactory entertainment. If you know what I mean.
You know what? You're right. The mug that I bought for both me and him, I slide over to him. I think I'll just go do that. You enjoy your evening. I kind of pat him on the back and I walk away.
You too. Sleep well. And he goes back to like his festivities.
I walk back and I just kind of whisper over Adamus. I don't like. That wasn't.
It was the right call. You didn't want sloppy sex.
No. Mm-mm.
Adamus is pretending he knows what he's talking about.
But it resonates. It resonates with Korvar a little bit.
So you all have a long rest. The night finds you all. For those that have had a drink or a few, it comes to you a little harder, but nevertheless you gain a long rest. What do you wish to do with your day?
I would like to go to a bookstore and get the book on animals.
Animals? Okay.
Cue the montage.
Cue the montage.
Yeah, cue the montage with sweet guitar riffs.
Alright,
We need
so
a montage.
on the list we have... Alright, so Plink, Animus and Korrivar, you head over to the Tinkerers. There are 2 health potions that you can purchase. There are the wind-up animals and the siege toys. Plink, you bought one of each of the siege toys. And
Yes.
I don't know if any of you wanted to buy the health potions.
If no one else will, I will. Just to have them. How much are they?
Excuse me, 55 gold each.
Oh, okay, never mind. No, I won't. Not at that price.
Okay. Moving on then, you guys make your way to the blacksmith. Trixie, you're trading your hand axe for 2 daggers. And they're relatively well made. They're not perfectly balanced, but they'll do, that's for sure. Definitely a good trade. And Adamus, you have a look at some of the armor upgrades and whatnot that they have. They do have a decent range with certain different designs, but it looks fairly pricey. The studded leather, as we discussed, is 70 gold pieces. So,
I'm fine.
yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention while we were doing the night. During the night, I would have used my last infusion to enchant my dagger to a +1 and given it to Trixie.
Okay. Yep.
So Trixie, you have a +1 dagger.
+1 dagger to my inventory as well.
Okay. Plink, you still have the powder, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Alright, so you guys continue to make your way to the local bookstore, or one of them at least. You make your way over to what they're called page turners. And it looks as if the script is actually in an Elvish script, though still translatable to Common. And where it says page, it looks like an actual name, like a play on words, like Paige, and then Turners. And you make your way in, and you're looking for an animal book. Now they have a couple. They have one on sea creatures, and they have one on forest creatures.
I want both.
You want both of them? The sea creatures one is a little more pricey than the forest one, as it seems to be a little more focused on less on like actual cataloging like the marine life and more like tales of things that are in the sea, though still holding information on actual creatures. So the sea one will run you 5 gold and the forest one will run you 2.
Okay. I'll grab them.
Okay. You grab those. Anyone else looking for anything in the bookstore?
Not unless there are any books on magical tinkering. Would there be anything of that there?
You can have a look for any books specifically tinkering geared, if you like. Roll me an investigation check. Do, 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 17. Okay, so you do actually find a single book on tinkering, and as you flick through the pages, it seems to go over more design work and methods on specific tinkering ability, I suppose you could say, to refine and improve your techniques. And while you are fairly experienced in your tinkering, you know that you probably could benefit from this book.
I will purchase it then.
Okay, that's 5 gold.
Alright, that's fine with me.
Okay, so you purchase that book.
And that's all I have interest in.
Okay. So, excuse me. Next up is Gilmore's Glorious Goods, the magic shop that everyone is so keen to go to.
I've never heard of this place.
Yes.
What's a Gilmore?
It's a type of fish. Anyway.
Is it a bakery?
The next morning, after these endeavors, which takes you about an hour or so to go between all these ones, previously discussed, searching through and whatnot, you then have about a 15-minute walk between the bookshop and Gilmore's. As Gilmore's is set sort of in more the northern section of the city. As you're passing through, you have to sort of divert through the center a little bit, and you can still tell that there's like a little bit of a gathering of not a gathering, but I suppose a scene for the guards to be investigating somewhere further along towards where you guys made your appearance. You can tell that they're still dealing with whatever it is and haven't found the culprits yet. But nevertheless, you continue to make your way towards Gilmore's with some direction from the local city folk. You eventually come to an opening in the streets, and the main street passes through on the northern side, and across from you lies probably the most colourful, flamboyant tent of a building you will ever see in your entire lives. This building itself, bright pinks and purples, layered with multicolored ribbons and drapes from one pinnacle of the sort of like a tower, 2 towers, to the other, draping down the sides, and then a banner across the front of the door that says in very colourful writing, Gilmore's Glorious Goods. From the sides of the windows, each window is coloured pinks and purples, kind of like a tint on them. And the door itself has this... the door itself has a doorknob that is very clean brass colour, leaning more towards the golder side. And it's just this face of Gilmore, of this slick-backed haired man, and you twist it and it opens, and you hear, as you open the door, hooray! As you realize, kind of like confused, you realize it's a sort of doorbell as you open, and as you open to it, and an array of smells hit your noses. Good smells, weird smells, no bad smells, just very strange mixture. And as you look through, there's multitudes of books, clothes, glass cases containing certain strange or just what seem to be abnormal or ordinary objects. There's another story where there's a staircase on the left-hand side that has a banister across the top, leads to another story obviously, and then another staircase on top of that. And you can see where the two towers on the left and the right seem to jut outward and upward. What looks to be, you can reach from the upper levels. And at the main desk there is this sort of elderly looking woman with long grey hair. She seems to be elven. She looks up and says, Hello. Welcome to Gilmore's Glorious Goods. What can I do for you?
I am looking for a few spell books of the first and second level variety. Yeah. By the way, I must say, the outside, the inside, marvelous advertising.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, that wasn't my design. It was obviously Gilmore's. He's very talented and crafted with that sort of thing. That's for sure. And first and second level spell books. Did you say, or spell scrolls?
Well, spell scrolls. I'm a bit of a budding wizard, and I'm just trying to broaden my repertoire.
Fair enough, fair enough. I believe I do have a few scrolls lying about here. Let me go and have a look for you. She sort of disappears around the back, and
As soon as she disappears, I turn around and look at everyone else, and I'm almost giddy, like schoolboy giddy. This place is amazing.
It's gonna take me forever to draw this.
It's okay.
sorry.
Hurry up to the counter and wait for her to come back. If I can actually reach it.
I'm actually trying not to kind of like, just from the amount of stuff going on in here and the fact that she just has readily available spell books, I'm actually trying not to kind of hyperventilate.
Sorry, I'm just doing the spell scroll thing. You guys can roleplay in the meantime.
It kind of makes me wonder who Gilmore is. I mean, I assume he owns this place.
Yes, there was, I mean, I don't know much about Gilmore, but I did read a little bit about the Umbra Hills and the Chroma Conclave that happened a very long time ago, and his name was mentioned a few times, but I've never actually did research into him himself.
I bet you wish
Yeah,
you
we're gonna
had
have
now.
we're gonna have to sit down and have that conversation because I have no idea what anything you just said is.
Yes, and I'm sorry, Trixie, you said something?
I said, I bet you wish you had done a little bit more research on him now because it's nice.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to, because this place is amazing.
Well, the sign said he's glorious. So,
Well, just by
There's that.
the colors. Just by the colors alone, I mean, you can tell he's glorious.
meh. It's a bit tacky.
Hey, Takbo.
If you don't
Hey,
like
Takbo.
it, you can leave.
Hey, Takbo.
What is it,
I bet-
little one?
I bet you that Gilmore is a wizard because they all seem to have the same taste.
Yeah, tacky.
Okay, well, now, I think you're pigeonholing us a little bit, and I'm gonna go out on a limb. I am far from tacky.
I might want to also point out that I am not a wizard, and even I can appreciate this.
Oh,
Thank you,
no,
Trixie.
I love this. I love this. I haven't seen this much color in the same place since Adamus's last spray painting.
I'll also point out our character. This is coming from the guy who's wearing a crushed velvet, paisley designed bright blue waistcoat, and he's saying it's tacky.
Yeah.
Quite
no, this
right.
place is great.
No, it's amazing.
I don't have money. I can't buy anything here.
I have a little bit, depending on what this lady comes back and has for offer. Which, by the way, too, I do hand Bosher back. I know he's not here. I hand Bosher back the 40 gold because with Plink's, requisitioning the 2 short swords, I kind of got what I needed.
I'm
Happy to help.
gonna wander up to Korvar and I'm gonna whisper where only he can hear. Do you think she can enchant my forks?
I mean, possibly. I don't know if she is a wizard herself or someone of that type of nature, or if she's just a store clerk. I mean, you could always ask.
Instant anime eyes, just like huge, like fascinated.
That is a step below horrifying from Bostra and his top hat.
Alright,
We could always ask her where Gilmore is.
I think he's dead.
I mean, we don't know that. It is his shop.
Yeah, but I think it's like, Gilmore's Glorious Goods, kind of like, the Woolworths, the Rockefellers. I mean, they're not really in existence anymore. It's just a name carried on.
I don't know what any of this
Yeah,
is.
point. But maybe it's like the Gilmore family. So maybe like the Gilmore that started it. Yeah, he's dead.
Why don't we just ask
But like
him?
maybe there's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We should ask.
Yeah, I don't really care to ask, to be honest with you. Seems kind of inappropriate. But oh, look, she's coming back.
Blink's gonna look over at Tacbo and be like, I'm gonna ask her.
I'm just gonna
I
wait
think you should.
just gonna wait for Delaney to come back.
That Blink. I don't think we should ask. I don't think so.
Well, it's
You
just
don't have to ask, I will.
Oh, at least let me get my purchases over and done with before you ask.
not being
You
rude.
think that they're not used to being asked who the store's named after.
It's legitimate curiosity.
No, it's just that with the exception of like one or two of you, there's this thing called tact that some of y'all just do not have.
Tacbo's right here.
You? Yeah.
Point exactly.
Looking
I
around.
thought you were
I think
cool.
we do have tact, it's just in different areas.
I thought you were cool, Korvar.
I am very cool.
Yes, Fish?
Looking around the shop, are there just like magic items on display, or is it just whatever's behind the counter and then it's just
It looks like there's magic
tapestries
items
everywhere?
on display.
Out of character, I am aware it's called a trident, but in character, do I see any really big forks?
You do see on one of the shelves, which seem to be amongst some of the books, there's a separate shelf that has a couple of odd ends and trinkets here and there. There seems to be this larger fork that's maybe about that big, that wide, and it's a two-pronged fork. It seems to be solid metal, silver. Not really sure. It doesn't look sharp.
So while that entire conversation was going on, Fish is just standing there gawking at it.
Alright. And that moment, you hear the beads, like, of the doorway, sort of part and open. And you, before you see anything, you hear the voice go, "Ah, friends, welcome to my store. What can I do for you?" And as you look, you see this almost transparent or translucent character that seems to have like these multicolored robes draped around him with a very colorful scarf, and the only part of him that's translucent is the actual like flesh of him. The rest of it seems to be real physical material that somehow it's like an avatar that's dressed, and there seems to be a black feather just in the side of the head as well, with the silver translucent hair. So, I hear there's an up-and-coming wizard.
I'll raise my hand.
Look at you.
Can we talk
Hello.
about how giddy he is? He's so
Uh,
excited.
Yes, I'm an up-and-coming wizard.
Well, I think that's fabulous. Now, there are a few things that I think that you should definitely learn as your time as a wizard. And if you ever need someone to teach you how to do that, please feel free to come by my store for lessons. In the meantime, however, the spells that you requested, I have some scrolls of, if you are interested.
I am definitely interested. I kind of whisper back to the party. He told me to come by for lessons.
Well,
Marvelous.
Jenny, would you please put the spell scrolls on the table for our fine gentleman here? And Jenny sort of says, yes, of course. And she lays out the spell scrolls in front on the bench, sort of all lined up neatly, all wrapped together in a wax seal bundle. So, what should I start off with?
Well, I mean, obviously, you can recommend what you want to do first. But I'm sorry, but I have to ask, why are you translucent like that? No disrespect, that's just kind of unusual.
Oh, of course. It's not every day you see something like this happen. No, you see, a long time ago, my body perished. And, well, so did I, really. But I found a way to subvert my consciousness into the form of, well, secrets. But it allows me to appear in this avatar-like state so I can continue serving such wonderful fine people, such as yourself. Nevertheless,
No questions, just
shall I produce the goods then?
produce away.
So, starting off with some cantrips, I would like to share, just in case you would like to expand your inventory, as I'm sure a wizard such as yourself needs a large repertoire. We have Acid Splash, as I'm sure you've heard of that spell. It's a little caustic. I would be careful with that one. But we also have Chill Touch, for those on the more necromantic side, but still within legal limits, remember that. Lastly, which I'm sure you already have, is my personal favorite, Mage Hand.
Those do sound good. I actually have 2 of those already, and Acid Splash isn't really my forte. I'm kind of looking at the first and second level spells, if possible. Anything to do with someone. I mean, I don't know if they. I'm kind of developing myself. But anything the ritual variety or the manipulation of some of the fundamental elements of the material plane.
I think I understand where you're going with this. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of those on hand at the moment. But I have a few spell scrolls you may still be interested in, but that's up to your decision. Let me go through them for you, and you can decide whether you like them or not. So, first up we have Alarm, which helps you get a better sense of the area, if that makes sense. Maybe you're out somewhere, maybe you're just wanted to keep your room a little safer. Then we have the all-time favorite for a first level spell, is Charm Person. Now, this one, you can have a lot of fun with, especially at a bar. Enough said. Lastly, top that off with some hideous laughter and you've got yourself a fun time. The last first level spell that I have is just for those rather troublesome people that just seemingly do not wish to cooperate, and that is the sleep spell. Also effective, I've noticed, for young couples that have recently had children. They seem to have a lot of purchases on this department, and you can imagine why. Nevertheless, let's get on to our big spells, shall we? The second levels. We've got Blur, which makes you harder to hit. We've got Hold Person, which, again, I've known a good number of people who really like this spell. And, let's just say, if you use your creativity well enough, it makes for very interesting encounters. Nevertheless, the last one I have on hand, which possibly you could take as a manipulation of the elements, is Shatter. Shatter, well, it's more of an area of effect really, and it does exactly that. It kind of shatters the area around you, leaving your opponents, I assume, or perhaps just any glass you want shattered, as that works too. I've had a few construction people come here and there just wanting to replace their windows, and rather than paying for the labor of taking out all the frames, they simply purchase this spell and away they go. But I'm afraid, my young man, this is the extent of my spell scrolls.
Okay. I have a few of those already. The whole person is definitely interesting. And the alarm. How much for the hold person by itself?
Hold Person by itself is going to run you about 220 gold pieces.
I kind of gulp. And the alarm spell.
The alarm one is a little bit less intricate. It will run you about 190 gold pieces.
They're almost like. Oh.
I know, it's a hard
Yes,
life.
it is.
I tell you what, the reason being is we've had to raise our prices recently. I'm sure you've noticed with some of your friends here, perhaps purchasing weapons has become slightly more expensive as of late. The reason for that, you see, is because there's been a lot of conflict going around Western, and as much protection as I've been able to give this city, unfortunately, there are still incursions that happen on the daily. Most recently, there's been some undead incursions happening on the outskirts. I'm sure you've heard the rumors by now.
Yes, you're right. Generally, a second leveled spell would run between 200 and 250 gold. Would you agree?
About that. Generally, my spell scrolls are a little lower than that, as I like to make them in bulk. So, my second level spell scrolls, I roughly have at about 180 for base price.
Base price, and then based on the usefulness of the spell, maybe a little more, a little less, right?
Usefulness, difficulty, enchanting, there are many factors that go into making a scroll.
What if I show you, as long as I get credit for it, my name attached to it when you sell it for credits, I show you a spell that the world has never seen before, and we'll call that an even trade for the hold person spell.
I like your gusto, but I can tell you now, I've seen a great many things. If you can surprise me, that would not only be very satisfactory for the trade of a spell scroll, but you'd have my interest.
Before I show you the spell, this is a spell not seen before in the world, and under contract with this trade, I get full credit for this spell for having created it with a very very small percentage if you do manage to market it. Very small.
Business.
I am still budding.
I can appreciate that. What is this spell called?
Are you in agreement if I wow you that I get full credit?
If you proceed to amaze me, which so far you do, then yes, I agree to this contract.
I pull out my spell book and then I pull out and I show him the spell for right now the anti gravity sphere.
Okay. What's the area of effect on that?
Centered on self, 30 feet. Turn off gravity with a failed save.
Okay. Okay. So,
It is second level.
all right. So you cast the spell, and all the books and loose pieces around you, including a few of your party members, start to slowly elevate and just basically loosely float in the general vicinity.
I protect the fork.
Fork isn't actually within range, so that's okay. As you cast this spell, you look at Gilmore and he goes, My, that is interesting. Very well. I agree. You have amazed me.
So, in change for the second leveled hold spell, and if you manage to market this to others, I get a small percentage with billing for having created it.
Of course. So, when would you like to stick around to show me these incantations and the process? Or perhaps do you have your own spell scroll?
I don't. I have it. I designed it in my spell book itself. I haven't actually created a spell scroll. I can show it. I know that we were getting ready to rent an inn for the evening. We could go do that, and not just come back, or we can do it now. I don't know what. I don't want to take up anyone else's more time.
Well, generally this process would take a while to copy down, given the level of the spell, of course. But with my talents and some assistance over here from my lovely Jenny, she sort of nods her head, I think that we could probably get this done, let's say a day. But upon transference, my spell scroll is yours.
And we draw up the contract for billing, for percentages, and everything else. We'll call it a deal.
Of course. So, when would you like to do that? Today?
I will just after. Let's go get a room for this, settle in, and then I'll come back first thing tomorrow morning.
Fabulous. I look forward to it.
While this has been going on, can I just have been looking around to see what's on the shelves and stuff?
Okay. Sure. So, you look around the shelves. There are a number of smaller spell books, a number of books that seem to be like magic for kids, books that have a bunch of cantrips that are listed, other things like alchemy, such as ingredient books, method books, types of potions. There seems to be a couple of objects, such as in one glass case there seems to be a set of goggles that are not too dissimilar from Takbo's current set of goggles, but certainly more of the finer creation. The couple sparkles inlaid on the side. There is a rather beautiful hand axe that has this this sort of wound purple dyed leather wrapped around the hilt, and the blade itself is a pristinely sharpened edge with sort of cut triangular holes in a sort of semicircular shape along the blade. It's beautiful. There are a couple oddities along the shelves, such as what looks to be a very small pinned bee badge. So it's like just a little metal badge in the shape of a bee, and its legs look like it's bent, like it's kneeling or jumping or something. It's about this big, just like that, little badge. There seems to be a plain metal rod, just like that big. There are a couple other things.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
How much for this bee?
Will that be there? Oh, that is one of my personal favorite flamboyant items. I like to call it the bee's knees.
Kill me.
No, it won't kill you, but it certainly will help you get out of trouble somewhat if you're more of the lavish talker. But that particular item will run you about 10 gold pieces.
I'm gonna buy it.
Very well. 10 gold.
Here you go.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Enjoy.
Thanks. You're a strange fellow.
I get that a lot.
I like it. It's cool.
And you look very interesting yourself.
I get that a lot. So.
Nevertheless,
Bye.
you're always welcome here.
I'm getting the sense.
Would anyone else here like to buy some of my finer wares?
Mr. Glorious? Oh wait, you go first. You've been looking around, Fish.
Oh yes, little goblin girl. Man, boy. Sorry, I have a hard time discerning.
I am the manliest goblin that I have ever met.
My apologies.
Thank
What would you like?
What is that?
From my beautiful
And I'll
store?
point at the.
Oh, the fork. Yes, it's called the tuning fork. Should you be proficient with any musical items, this will enhance your abilities.
And how much is that?
This one, on a similar par with the bee's knees, it will run you about 10 gold pieces.
I get it. I need it.
I will pay the 10 gold for her fork, for his fork.
Oh, generous, are we?
Because us little people
Excellent.
have to stick together.
I just kind of like look at you like I'm about to cry, but I don't. I'm just like, thank you.
I always
No
love my
worries.
friendship. You know,
Can I ask you, Mr. Sparkling Man, what are those goggles?
please, call me Gilmore. The goggles there,
Mr. Gilmore.
they will help you to see not only in the dark, but for those that are a little more sensitive to the sunlight, like your possibly friend here, they will help you to shield your eyes from such effects.
I think I already have a pair of goggles that do that. Is it pointing to my face?
Oh yes.
What about for Korovar? He's got issues with the light.
Actually, I do not.
You do not. All right.
No, isn't
Big
that
brain.
interesting?
I whisper over to Adamus, I'm only half drow.
Oh.
Mr. Glorious,
Yes.
I fight things.
Indeed.
Do you have any? Do you have any like weapons, like
Oh,
that are magic?
do we have weapons?
That's the question I asked.
Please, join me on my second floor. And you see him. And he dissipates and reapparates on the second floor, looking down on the balcony. So, please join me up here.
Akbo's looked a little disinterested the entire time you guys have been in the shop, but now he looks very excited and he runs upstairs.
I will join.
I'm
I'll
gonna
join
wait at
too.
the counter.
Okay.
Flick's gonna look at Fish and be like, "Enjoy your fork. I'm gonna go with them."
Such a nice fork. And then I just go ding. He just plays with the tuning fork.
Okay. So you go upstairs, you join him, and you see as you ascend to the second floor, there's an array of weaponry and armor on this platform, and he sort of says to you, "Sir, what were we looking for exactly?"
I mainly fight undead.
Undead, Let me think.
Yeah.
What would be the most useful for undead, aside from radiant? You know, I do have a couple of items that are more of the fire-branded nature. Otherwise, I think I might have one weapon that has some radiance to it. I'll have to check on that one.
Okay.
I'll be right back. And he poof, disappears. And a few moments later, poof, comes back right in front of you. Sort of. So, apparently, the radiant weapon that we have is simply just a dagger. It gives you a little bit of extra radiant boost when you attack undead, I suppose, in a plain sense of the way. We have a few other items that like to shed light. They're a bit more pricey depending on what kind of light you're looking for. We obviously have the basic light cantrip attached to them, or if you really want to get interesting, we have one that produces sunlight in a certain vicinity. That's fairly pricey though. However, as I mentioned before, there are weapons that give off fire. They produce small amounts of light as well, depending on the weapon. And, naturally, they do some rather hot damage.
Well, how much would the radiant dagger be first? Because I don't have that much money to spend.
Indeed. The radiant dagger will run you about 150... I'd say... For the 150 for the base, and 200 gold pieces.
Okay. You were saying about those fire weapons?
The fire weapons aren't that much different, I'm afraid. So if you're looking for something cheap, I might encourage you to go questing and exploring the vast lands of our continent. I'm sure you'll find something out there.
I will come back when I have more money.
Absolutely. And my door will be wide open.
Okay. Is that because you can't shut it?
My dear man, this is a 24/7 establishment.
Oh. Oh, I guess you don't get tired. That makes sense.
Indeed. And that's good for a great many things. Now, What else can I help you with?
Can I just take
I look-
another look around?
I'll look around.
Yeah, I just want to see what's available.
On this floor?
Yes.
Okay. There seems to be a number of, like I said, a number of different types of attire. Some in the cloak variety, some in the armor variety of studded, hide, plate, half plate, breastplate, all that kind of stuff. Shields, both wooden, metal, leather. There seems to be a hand axe or two. There seems to be a few daggers. All the sort of simple weapons seem to be present for the most part. There seems to be a rather large, looks like a longsword. Never really seen one of these before. It's slightly curved and thinner than a longsword that's hanging on one of the shelves. Yeah, they all have very, like, no weapon here or item is subpar. They're all flamboyant, they're all beautiful, and they are all enchanted.
Your shields. How much for those?
The shields? Let me just have a look in my ledger. It's been a while since someone bought a shield. You see a book apparate in his hands. Well, it depends on the kind of shield you're looking for. Are you looking for a just standard enchantment, or something that protects from a specific resistance or element?
Not looking for anything specific, man. Just whatever you've got.
Well, we have a few. We have one that guards against specific elements, my apologies, such as fire, water, even radiant itself. We also have the standard enchantment. It's simply a +1 to your shields, your protection. Adds a bit of a boost to your protective levels. Aside from that, it just gets more and more expensive, of course, but the more expensive, the better the enchantment.
Of course.
And
How
it's
much for those two then?
For those two?
Well, for each of them.
For each of them? Well, if you'd like a full list, I'd be happy to oblige. So,
That'd be lovely.
the base enchantment for a standard +1 shield would run you about 1,500 gold pieces. The next one up, or roughly on the same par really, for a specific resistance such as fire or anything such of that, that'll run you about 850 gold pieces.
Sir, I'm going to stop you right there. I can't even afford your base enchantment, so no point in continuing.
What was the cost? What was the cost of the base enchantment?
The base enchantment depends on which base enchantment. If you were looking for the standard +1, then that's 1,500 gold for the shield.
Never mind.
Please, don't get the wrong idea. These items in particular are not overpriced. These are the same price you'll find in many places. In fact, my prices here are better than most.
I don't know, sir. 1,500 gold for a fucking shield is far too much.
This is
150 gold I can
shield.
understand, but 1,500? No.
Like I said, this is for a magic shield that increases your protection. Many friends have I lost because they weren't protected enough. So, if you don't like it, then that's fine. You can come back anytime. I'm not forcing you to buy anything.
An enchantment that I want. It's nothing special, but I still want it.
Yes, my goblin friend.
Can you make these 2 forks last forever?
Peculiar. Yes, I can do that for you.
I don't want them to be able to get scratched or rusted. And I take out the forks that Kel and Adam gave me.
Well, if you simply want these to be protected from rust and the elements such as weathering, scratches, and whatnot, that'll simply be 15 gold pieces for the bracelet.
Any chance? Well, I mean, okay. My charisma's terrible. I take it. I give him 15 gold.
Thank you very much. This will take me an hour.
Thank you.
Now, is there anything that anyone else would like from my wonderful store before I begin this enchantment?
I have one question.
Indeed.
Do you have anything that might be able to help the accuracy of my magic?
The accuracy of your magic.
The last time I used the spell, it ended up in the death of a party member.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I can sympathize with your issue. Unfortunately, the only item that I had that focused magic a bit more was sold to a gentleman a little while ago, a couple months maybe, and it was rather on the pricier side anyway, so apologies, but I could always make more if you needed.
And how much would that cost?
Let me just have a look at my list here. I don't think I've made something like this in a while. That particular item was sitting on my shelves for well over 3 years. What was 3 books? Where did I see it? Ah, okay. That enchantment in particular, because it is magic based and it has to uphold and be a medium for such magic to flow through, regardless of the level of magic being cast through it, it will be slightly on the pricier side, but it should run you about 1,200 gold pieces.
And how long will it take?
My apologies, I did not quite hear that.
How long will it take for you to do it?
For something like that, I'd say give me about 3 days.
See what I can round up.
What was that? Sorry.
Trixie will see what he can round up.
Very well. Anyone else? No? Okay. So, he takes the forks for the bracelet. Corvar sells you your thing, and you've agreed to meet back in the next day to teach him the spell, or at least give him the incantation and the sigils. And the rest of you have your prices and your information. And he says, well, with that, my friends, I'm going to have to leave you. I do have some very important fork work to do.
Slight bow. Thank you for humoring us and assisting us with this transaction.
Of course. Have a great day.
As we walk out, Fish is just gonna start playing with the tuning fork.
When we do leave the fork, the fork. See, this is what you do to me.
You're welcome.
Brainwashing us with forks. As soon as we leave the shop, Adamus will kneel down to Fish, hand over the bee. This will match your dress, and also it'll help you talk yourself out of trouble if you ever get in any.
You think he's in shock and then just like hugs you? This is the most gift that he has received in his entire life.
Gift Fish Day.
It's like his first Christmas. He'll take it and he'll put it on his little bee dress.
Is it Fish's birthday or something?
It
I
is
don't know
now.
what his birthday is. He's a
Maybe
goblin.
today.
They don't keep track of that kind of stuff. Once you can walk, you can work.
That's
Goblin,
wow.
man. That's how it works.
So, basically, the bee's knees increases your charisma score by 1, and the tuning fork gives you advantage on performance checks to play a musical instrument. Huh?
I love all of this.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do?
Before we do that, I do want to ask how much longer are we planning on going on?
Just we'll do whatever you want to do next, and then we'll wrap it up.
I guess we would just.
Wait.
I mean, I think the only thing else we had on our schedule for the day was just finding a room real fast. I did tomorrow morning. I did promise to come back and complete this business transaction. So if you want to all to go over to the Margrave's house while I'm doing that, or wait for the day to where I can join you all, I do need to complete this transaction.
I think we had better wait. I mean, Fish can pick up their forks, this fork's den, at the same time, and then it'd be good to come over, all of us together.
I mean, him and Gilmore is gonna take a day.
Yeah, that's what he said. I don't know why it would take a day. It's a second level spell, which for me transferring it into a spell book of my own would only take me about an hour. But maybe it's more things involved.
Don't think about it too hard. But I feel like if we get 2 things done at the same time, it might be better.
Yeah.
All right.
But first off, let's go find the inn and secure rooms for the night. Good. Oh, I'm sorry, Adamus. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Just before we leave Gilmore's, I just want to go back in and ask him if he can do another one of those bee things, but like in like the form of like a dragonfly or something else, just to re-enchant another one. Yeah, same enchantment.
Okay. Yeah, he can do that for the same price.
Cool. I'll hand over 10 more gold then.
Okay. Cool.
And then we'll pick it up in the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. We pick it up the following day.
Wicked.
Good. Whenever Adams returns, the good news is that because of the trade and spells, I have enough gold to secure us a room for the next couple nights on me.
Very kind of you.
For my friends.
Thanks, Caravar.
No problem.
Okay. So, what are you guys doing? You going back to the inn?
Yeah, back to the inn, and I'll pay for at least the next 2 nights for. Wait, did we already paid for rooms and everything, right?
For last night, yeah.
Yeah,
last night.
to go back and I'll just rent the same room, same numbers and everything for the next 2 nights because it's like we'll be in town at least the next 2 days.
Okay. So the next 2 nights you have rooms. Yep. All right.
How much was that again?
2 gold per night for 4 rooms. So
4 gold.
Yep. So I minus off that up. So I got the rooms for the next 2 nights.
yep, cool. So you guys will make your way back to the Bed and Feather where you guys were staying. During which time would be about, by this stage, with all your activities, be about mid-morning, midday. You guys come back to the Bed and Feather, and you see, let's say most of you have good perception, so you see amongst a number of passed out patrons and stuff, a lot of things have been cleaned up slowly. They're still in the process of cleaning. You notice something a little odd. Now most of you are aware that, except for maybe you, Adamus, and that one of the laws of many places is that there are illegal substances to consume. And one of these substances comes in the form of a powder. And you do notice on some of the tables within this place, there is a couple remnant spots of this white powder, similar to what you guys have in the bag. But apart from that, everything seems in the ordinary. You guys want to pack it in there?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
So, you're going to take a long rest now? Basically spend the rest of the day in the tavern,
Or we can, if
Yeah.
to not too well, I would suggest if we just want to pause it right there at midday instead of wasting the whole day. We can next time we play, we just come back, we do the Margraves, and then we continue on with everything else if we can.
Sure, yeah. Alright, we'll pause it at midday, and we'll pick this session up next time.
Awesome.
So, thank you all for watching this episode. We hope it's been entertaining, especially I hope for those that are Critical Role fans, as they're a big encouragement and boost to our D&D community, and they're a lot of fun. I hope it was a good throwback. So, see you next episode.